Let's take a look. Are we coming up live? I think we're coming up live 11:03 on a Monday, November 10th. Welcome in. Let's talk about fantasy football. Let's talk about the NFL. How did we do this week? Man, the afternoon games yesterday, 44-22, 42-26, 44-22. That was hard to watch. That was hard to watch. The Seahawks up 21-0 at the end of the first quarter did make it tough to stay interested. I don't know, did anyone else feel similarly about Seahawks, Cardinals? I mean, even Detroit, Commies, that one wasn't ever close. Rams, 49ers, a little close for some of it, but the final score, 42-26. Not a lot of interesting ones in the afternoon slate. Pop on in, ask your questions, let me know how you did. We got JDMCC 58. Hello. What is going on? How did you guys do? Where I think I'm on pace to get 8-2. Let's take a look. This league I'm not doing so hot, but here I think I'm 3-6 there, on pace to be 4-6. 7-2, on pace for 8-2. We're feeling all right here. Alex Kamak, what is going on? I'm trying to sell high on Vidal right now. Very tough. Let's take a look. I've been working on this. I don't know if Kamani Vidal will even show up in here. Oops. Let's see what kind of trades we can find happening with Kamani Vidal today. Alvin Kamara. Kellen think Jacobs can get 10 tonight. Yeah. I think so. Kamani Vidal for Alec Pierce. I don't know that that's even really high. Alex. Mr. Luckaboo, should I panic on Garrett Wilson? That one, yeah, maybe. Shane. What's up, Shane? Guys, it's dry. Have you ever used like a hand balm? I'm running low. It's dry. Let's see, Hoeing Fitness, I need 27 from Hertz. What do you think? Let's take a look. I'm starting to show the site I've been building. 27? He's hit 31. I think he could do it depending on your league setup, Hoeing. And playing the Packers, that was a big shootout last time. Yaz, do you have any way to check out sleeper teams? Like if I was to check out your team on sleeper, Hoeing, you do 6 points for passing touchdown. Yeah, then this would assume 4 points for passing touchdown. Let me know what you mean, Yaz, because I think I do. Jeremy Strauss, thoughts on Sutton and Tet? I mean, how did Tet do? I thought he was okay. Tet looks like his stats haven't loaded. No, 8 targets. Oh, just no rushing attempts. I just need to clear that up. Yeah, the 8 targets, 5 receptions, 11 fantasy points. He's going to find the end zone. Yes, I do have a way to do that, just not right now. So this is the current site in progress for boombustfantasy.com. We had one that would sync to Sleeper and then show me your league and how I would be able to see everyone's team, all the rosters and like values and things for that. That'll come back by next season. So that'll be back by next season. Jeremy Strauss, thoughts on Sutton? It's definitely changing. I think Troy Franklin's taking over a bit more of a role there, and it's something we should pay attention to. Let's go with Sutton. 4 targets against Vegas. That's concerning. The 6 against Houston and the lower game against Houston, I thought that was just Houston. They're a tough passing defense. But seeing it carry on to another week, Franklin's been looking better and better. I think we do have to start to consider that it's not Troy Franklin as the lead top option, and that it's not Cortland Sutton as the only good option, that Franklin is now usable Yaz, thoughts on Olave? Should I sell? I mean, the answer to should I sell is always yes, sell everyone. See what you can get, shop them, see what's available. Got Stan Dynasty Price Check saying Monday morning, let's get it. Monday morning, let's get it. Let's recap. Let's see how we're doing. Let's see who needs a Monday miracle. Shane traded Bijan and Johnston for Christian McCaffrey. I don't know that I'm adding anything to Bijan to go to Christian McCaffrey. I'm not that panicked after yesterday. Let's see, 5-0 Matt got offered a Buka for Kittle. Is that good? Just a Buka for Kittle? I mean, I might like a Buka more than Kittle. Or if you're sending Kittle and you have Goddard, which is now what I'm reading. If you have Dallas Goddard, would I send Kittle for a Buka? I would, yeah. J Ray Stream, love the content as always. Hope you have a great week, man. Hope you do as well. Week's just getting started. We're just getting started, wrapping up week 10. Then we go right back into week 11. Vasquella, bro, I need help. I can't win a game and nobody in my league wants to trade. I mean, somebody's got to trade. Somebody's got to trade. Maybe I don't know what you've been offering. Pater popping in. What's up? Mr. Lookaboo played Garrett Wilson this week in Breece Hall and it costed you. Yikes. Yeah, I could understand. Let me see what I had. Breece Hall at 19 playing the Browns. I could understand not putting him in. But that one hurts you. The one long play. Like for most of the game, the Browns rushing defense and the Browns defense in general was holding him. And then you get the one long reception. One of one Mar, thinking about trading Gibbs for Achane, prepping for the playoffs. I like his playoff matchups more than Gibbs. I mean, I think you should still get more. If you're sending Gibbs for Achane, it should be Achane and something else. I don't think the Dolphins would be looking for wins compared to the Lions later on. I think every team is looking for wins. I mean, Achane is on a rookie contract. He's looking to play well. Tua people are questioning if he's the starter. He's looking to play well. Mike McDaniel likely getting terminated, but there's a chance that he's not. A new GM comes in and decides, or he's looking for his next job. He's trying to win. Like the Dolphins are trying to win. All of the people that decide if the Dolphins are trying to win it benefits them to win. Dylan Rickman, would I trade Kyron straight up for Judkins? Would I do a 1-for-1 swap just because of a playoff schedule? Not really. I don't know that we're that great at determining how that's going to go. We've got Dylan Rickman on YouTube. Oh, that's the one I just covered. Titan Style on YouTube. We do get to everyone. I've just got the YouTube chat. Everyone on YouTube and Twitch, I've just got those mixed together. Story time. 97. Hope you're doing well. Glad I started a Buka in London over Sutton and Olave. Is that how I had it? Would I have done the same thing? I had a Buka at 11 and Sutton at 10. I wouldn't have. I think the other one I would have. I had Olave at 18. And London, I would have gone London. Shane Kindred, no fantasy relevance, but Gronk signing with the Pats to retire makes me happy. I like those moves like those as well. I'm not a Patriots fan, but in general, I like those. D-Sale dropping roses. Do I see something from D-Sale? I got Doritos are hot. Regular watcher. 8-point lead against Dobbs. What are the chances of him not getting it? Pretty all right. Chances of him not getting 8? 11, 4, 30, 10, 13, 9, 16. I'm not amazing at numbers, but a lot of those are over 8. Twitch Knifer, I just did London, Benson, Vidal for Bijan, Dart, Algier. Did I lose? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think you lose. Although I regularly wouldn't say that. I would say most trades don't have losers. I think you did okay. Shadow, I have a team that's 4-6 after this week, so I need to make some changes. Someone's offering me Javonte, Sutton, and Tet for Puka and Kamara or Henry. He wants that deal for Henry, but I think that's giving too much. I don't really like the deal in general. I wouldn't move Puka for that. Javonte, Sutton, and Tet. I don't know that that's what's going to save you. Gabriel, what should I do with Alec Pierce? He's my wide receiver 4 in a 12-man. I don't need him. Not sure he has enough value to trade. Could always try. Can always try. Pair him with a bunch of people like Zach Foster. How are we feeling about Alec Pierce rest of season? I don't know that it's... There are 13 targets against Pittsburgh. He's got, I mean, in the past couple of weeks, after returning from an injury, we had 4 against Arizona in a rough... I mean, he didn't do much that game. I don't know the full score on that one. But then 87... I mean, the snap percentage has been there since leaving against Tennessee, missing a couple weeks to injury. He's out there. And then 10, 5, 13, 7. That's a lot of... That's a fair amount of targets that I would think he's going to be a flex option at least. Titan Style just gave up Jamar Chase, Etienne Vidal, got Gibby, Ladd, and Garrett Wilson. I think that's fine. I think you come out... I think that's okay. Like, which side do I want? I kind of like both sides, so I think you did all right. You just shift up some of the pieces that you have across your teams, across the 2 teams, and I don't know that anybody needs to be the winner or the loser. Seems all right. Primetime season, should I panic on Bijan? That was a video I just made. No. Not really. I think we're fine. I got offered Chase Brown and Waddle for Bijan, and you'd be getting Brown and Waddle. I wouldn't. I would stay with Bijan. Prince Maury, should I panic on Derrick Henry? How did he end up? I saw him running a lot, just didn't get in the end zone. Minnesota has a good run defense. Let's take a look at how they do against fantasy running backs. This might not be fully updated, but Minnesota, top 10-ish. Decent against fantasy running backs. I don't think it's crazy. Would I be panicked? Not a ton. He's definitely not been what we thought, a first-round pick, but I think he's all right. I'm not doing a split trade for him. Let's see. We're traded off Odunze Olave for Lamb. Okay. So this is multiple trades. You traded Odunze and Olave for Lamb. I'm okay with that. I like Lamb. And you traded Kittle for Nico. You now have Puka, Lamb, Rice, and Nico. I think I like both of those deals. Jeff Boudreaux trades Zay and Javonte for Bijan. Yeah, I would. I would take the Bijan side there, Jeff. Travis, I got offered Lamar for Mahomes. I would be receiving Lamar. I was going to do it because of Mahomes' schedule. What are your thoughts? Sure. I think that makes sense. I mean, where did Lamar finish up? I would probably, if I was drafting today, I think I would like Lamar slightly more rest of season. Tough game against Minnesota. He has another tough matchup in Cleveland. But then Jets, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, New England, and the Patriots, which could be tough. I think that's fine. Let's see, Titan Style was hoping the other guy was losing. We all trying to scam him because he is destroying everyone. I don't worry that much. If I'm making a trade, I'm not trying to make the other guy lose. I understand. Shane, is DK cooked after what we saw last night? No, he's just a wide receiver 2. He's just a wide receiver 2. What is he on the year? 28? So not a good wide receiver 2. 7 targets, 3 catches, no touchdowns. Is he cooked? No. These double-digit games are still in his bag. Like, he can still do that. Zach Foster, how are we feeling about Justin Jefferson? Obviously, great rest of season schedule, but look concerning the past couple weeks. I mean, the Ravens are a tough defensive matchup. I think I'm generally still in on Jefferson. Plays Chicago, I think he's going to be fine. Plays Green Bay, I think he's going to be fine. Seattle could be tough. The Commies, he'll be fine. Playing at Dallas, he'll be fine. Playing at New York Giants, he'll be fine. I think he's got a lot of great matchups. Nate, everyone seems to be selling Javonte Williams. I think it's because he's on a 1-year deal. Yes. Yeah. That's why I would be fine moving on from him. If I'm not contending with Javonte Williams in a dynasty league, I think fans would want, not just fans, but like fantasy players, dynasty players would want the Cowboys to re-sign Javonte Williams. That doesn't mean they will. If you look at what they did, it was spend nothing on a running back and be fine. Couldn't they do that again rather than sign him to a longer deal? If you think of the way people thought about Javonte Williams in the offseason, they were saying, Jerry Jones is a moron. This will never work. and it's working. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went and did that again with someone else or drafted someone finally. Maybe they draft the kid out of, was it Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame? That could line up with their draft stock. Like, there's a good chance that they just don't have Javonte Williams next year. Juan on TikTok, should I do Ibuka and Hall for Amon-Ra? I think that's the full price. Like Ibuka and Breece Hall for Amon-Ra. Would I always do that? If not always, but there's definitely teams where I would. If I'm just trying to do playoff consolidation, yeah, I could do that. I might try to find a different player that's cheaper, but I could. Like, who was this trade for? For Amon-Ra? I mean, couldn't you get Justin Jefferson for less? I might try to look at doing something like that. Move Ibuka and a very small piece for Justin Jefferson. Or Ibuka and a very small piece for Bijan while people are worried. And Bazrook, buddy of mine, started 5-0, is now 5-5. He's desperate for running backs. He has Kamara and Krosky Merritt. Do you think if I offer him Chase Brown, Trey Benson for Lamb, it's worth it, or go down a tier? I mean, he might do that, but it's not. That's one of the trades. I need to come up with a name for this type of trade. And Bazrook. It's one of those trades that you can send it. He might accept it, but if he doesn't accept it, you don't get to say your league doesn't trade because it was a stupid trade. Like, it was a bad trade. It was a low. You were heavily lowballing him. He might do that, but it's not likely. D-Sal, trade Nix and Genty for Hurts and Jalen Warren. Would I trade Nix and Genty for Hurts and Jalen Warren? I probably would. Swap a little bit down from Genty to Jalen Warren in terms of the production they've been doing, and go up to Hurts from Bo Nix. I'd be fine with that. Trade Drake for Jefferson from a question mark. I think so. I think that would be fine. Dylan Rickman, should I panic on Jefferson? I think that's why we pulled that one up. It's DJ, though. Hope you're doing well. Would I trade BTJ for Flowers? Yikes. I don't know that I would. How did Flowers end up? I remember I pulled up his numbers this morning and thought, like, yeah, that's Zay Flowers. And yeah, that's Zay Flowers. 6 targets. I had also looked at the target percentages for everyone on the Ravens. It was like 6 targets was the most for Zay, and then like 100 people got 3 targets. And it's kind of just like that. I don't know that I would move BTJ just for Flowers, though. Quora came here last week saying I traded for Kincaid after losing Kraft, and look where I am now. It's a bad year for tight ends. I'm sorry to hear it. Do we have a blurb on Kincaid? I know he left the game. Hamstring. So that's not great. That's not great. That might be timeout. Eccentric phase him down 0.6 with Jordan Love to go, and he has Goddard. Do you think I win? I think so. AP12 for tonight. I need 26 points from Saquon and Jacobs combined. Think this is attainable? Oh, yeah. 26 between the both of them? Saquon just got 33 against the Giants. 17 is in his bag, and then 10 from Jacobs. It's attainable. You can do it. Gabriel, would you prefer Hampton or Judkins rest of season? I prefer Hampton, but he's on IR. I can't really afford to trade Judkins. Taking your advice and getting rid of depth to get stars. I don't know that I would jump to Hampton. The only thing we've heard from the head coach was that he's out at least until week 13. They have a week 12 bye, so he could come back in week 13. But I don't know that Harbaugh is someone who would mislead as a head coach, but he is someone who regularly says, like, hey, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I'll tell you the stuff I know, but generally we know that he's not back until week 13. And from there, that I would take that to mean he might not be back in week 13. It's just not until then. So that wouldn't be someone I would jump to, and I wouldn't just move Judkins for Hampton. I would take the usage of Judkins and hope that Judkins keeps getting better. Watermelon Warren on buy, trade Keenan Allen for Goddard. I think that's fine. Big Bando. What's up, Big Bando TV? 9-1 now. What are some realistic wide receivers to target if I want to trade Garrett Wilson in Dynasty? I don't know that you need to dip him that much. And it's hard to say what's realistic because that one's gonna vary league to league. If you're in Dynasty and you're contending and you have Garrett Wilson, you just have to look at the teams that aren't contending and move an injured player as someone who's not really going to lose a lot of value. So if you want to get pieces, you just have to look at who's on the teams that are out of it. And we don't sell him too low. We just take the production now, knowing that in 6 months, his value should be fully back, and whoever you get should maintain pretty close value. It kind of just, you need to find a team that lines up in your league. So it's not necessarily player specific. Like if a team that was out of it had Marv, that's a fine swap. There's a fan club coming in from Juju. What's up, Juju? Oh, 8-2 after this week. Still in first. Better weeks are ahead as your team gets healthier. That's the way to see it. That's the way to see it. If you're on pace for the playoffs, we just need to worry about the playoffs. Zach Foster, a little off topic from fantasy. Who's your MVP this year? Drake May's been really solid. Who else is MVP? For a minute, they thought it was Baker. I don't know. I guess I don't think about it that much. I have a hard enough time keeping up with who's been doing what. Like who's been how everyone has been performing, rather than thinking about MVP. Joven, hope the weekend was good. It was great. I hope you had a great weekend. You think sticking with Worthy and Krusky Merritt for my last flex spot is okay ahead of the trade deadline? Yeah, I would. Okay, so here's the question. Should you stick with Worthy and Krusky Merritt for the last flex spot? Or is it better to try to combine them to slightly upgrade? The value is so low, they aren't easy pieces to trade. Yeah, that's all true. Their value's pretty low. You could move them with starters to get a better starter and then roll with someone else at the flex. But I think there's a lot of guys that are going to pop up still on waivers that could become usable flex options. Like Parker Washington was pretty recent. Jerry Jeudy had a great game on Sunday, and he had a great second half last year. I don't know that that's good logic just to say like good in the back half last year, good in the back half this year. That doesn't sound smart. But if that continues, 12 targets, massive target game. He was starting with 8, 8, 5, 9. Like Jerry Jeudy could get to usable with Dylan Gabriel progressing. This isn't even as much a Jerry Jeudy take as it is an everyone take. Someone will be available and a good flex. That if you have Worthy and Krusky Merritt as your flexes, I would assume there's probably someone on waivers that could show up and be your flex. Where is Henderson rest of season now from TPQR? Hey, I'll be slow. Let me show. I just want to click on one that doesn't have any interesting things in the chat to see. This is just waiver pickups. Where's Henderson rest of season? I mean, great game on Sunday. 14 rushes the week before. I don't know that means that they pivot straight to him, so I'm going to keep tracking Ramondre. I'll keep tracking what he does because the team has been using Ramondre Stevenson. It's not like they can even really... it would be hard. They could get out on Ramondre, but he's likely there next year as well. They don't fully trust Travion. Maybe this moves them closer to it, but I'm usually slow on someone like that. I was slow with Monungai. He got in the end zone, but it was still an even split, even though people thought Monungai would be the lead role. I go slow on that. Where's he rest of season? Top 24. He'll be in the top 24. Zachary Foster, are you Schultz or Ottenheimer rest of season struggling in the tight end spot? They are the exact same dude to me. Like nothing special physically, but they're part of their offense and they both can catch the ball. They'll both have good weeks. Like you could say Cade Otton, Dalton Schultz, Hunter Henry they've all had some Hunter Henry weeks. I don't think Henry's been doing as much recently. For fantasy, not really breaking double digits, 2 points yesterday. Like that's 11 targets, is what I really wanted to call out against Pittsburgh here. That was a great game for him. Schultz just had double-digit targets. Otten had double-digit targets. It could still fade away. I like them a little bit more than Hunter Henry, but very similar to each other. They're not key players for me. All right, I'm falling behind. Marinez. What are your thoughts on trading Ibuka, ETN, and DK for Bijan and Gadsden? I think it's a steal to get Bijan and Gadsden. I think that's okay. Yeah. I think that's fine. Would I trade Ibuka and DK for Bijan? Absolutely. Would I trade ETN for Gadsden? I think it's okay. I don't know that it's a steal, but it's good. I would rather have the Bijan and Gadsden side usually. Is DJ, though, looking up to my wide receiver? Who should I target with BTJ and Benson? I don't know that you're going to get that much for Benson. BTJ can be hard to move. I've got a video here on YouTube. We pull this one up multiple times a day when we get a question like this, DJ. If you are trying to move BTJ and Trey Benson and get one player back, this is how I would build that trade. Come out with 8 to 10 options. You send out 8 to 10 trades, and you're hoping that one goes through. Big Bando, would you trade Garrett for Pickens and draft compensation? I think you were in a dynasty. Would I trade Garrett Wilson for Pickens and a draft pick? Sort of. Yeah. If you're just trying to contend, if I remember your question, you're just trying to contend. Yes, there's a good chance that Pickens loses value this offseason. He's not signed by the Cowboys long term, and if that changes, I don't know how people are going to perceive him. Chris Bliss, what do I do with Jefferson? I'd probably just be holding him. Shadow, should I trade my Puka for Barkley and T. Higgins? I don't know if you're over or underpaying. That seems like there's definitely spots where I could take Barkley and Higgins. Where I could take Barkley and Higgins. I don't know that I am jumping up and down to do it. If you needed another wide receiver, sure. Or you knew that you could then trade those guys, then yeah. I think it might be an overpay if someone gave Barkley and T. Higgins, but that doesn't mean you have to take it. Like, how does it help your starting lineup? Does it make your playoff lineup better is the thing I would think about. Think Luigi, how was the weekend? It was fantastic. Honestly, every day kind of blends together. Because if I'm not on the weekend, I'm just sitting here doing this. Abdul, someone in my league really needs RB2 and a flex. I'll send him Dowdle and Adams for JSN. But then I would have to start Nick Chubb at RB2. You would have to start Nick Chubb this week. There's always a chance there's another injury and someone else becomes available. But I think here's what I would say. Should I trade? Let's recap this because I think I'm going to say yes. Abdul on YouTube. Someone needs a running back 2 and a flex. You would send him Devontae Adams and Dowdle for JSN. But then I would have to start Nick Chubb at RB2. You don't have to. You could also trade, if you're sending Adams and a wide receiver and getting a wide receiver, you could also move another wide receiver for an RB2. Like, what does ETN cost? What does Montgomery cost? What does J.K. Dobbins cost? Could you get them with other pieces? A different 2-for-1 to get one of those? I would look at something like that. Shadow, do you think Parker Washington is going to keep up production with all the other pieces they have when everyone's back? I don't know that everyone comes back. They traded for Myers. Was it just to add Myers, or was it because they thought Travis Hunter could be out for a while? He's on a minimum 4 games out, but he got put on that immediately. If they thought it was close to 4 games or less, do they not put him on IR like Bucky Irving, who is now missing 4 weeks but never went on 4-week IR? I think. Maybe Bucky did go on 4-week IR. But same idea. They knew right away. So just like Omarion Hampton, who's missed more than 4 weeks and for sure will. I don't know that Travis Hunter is coming back. So I think Parker Washington holds a role. Let's see what happens. I don't know that it's a sure thing that he disappears. Senor Miggs traded Jefferson and Chase Brown for Rice. Bad deal? It's not a deal I love. I'll say that. I don't know that I would have done it. I feel like we're sending a bit much. Like, you could have gotten Aaron Jones with Rice on that, and running back of that level. Zach Charbonnet, Kamani Vidal, Woody Marks. Those aren't all in the same range, but I feel like you should have gotten someone back with Rice. Jay Sanchez, should I drop Garrett Wilson or Rashid Shaheed for Alec Pierce? I wouldn't drop Garrett Wilson for Alec Pierce. If you don't have space for him, I think that means, if those are your drops, I think that means you got to combine assets all over the place, Sanchez. Gary Jr., someone in my league dropped Ridley. Should I pick him up and drop Cooper Kupp or keep Kupp? It might be Cooper Kupp. Naruto, should I pick up Stafford after what happened to Dart? I've heard that he won't play the same with the rushing game and will play safer if he comes back. I think that's all speculation. Should you pick up Stafford to replace Dart for the short term? Easy answer, yes. Is Dart going to change up his game plan? We don't know that. We don't know that. Eccentric Phase, I'm so pissed. Going up against a guy who had Goddard left, I have Love. He just traded 3 of his bench players for Jacobs and is now playing him instead of Goddard. Yikes. And he was able to trade players that had already played? Rondo, you think Amon-Ra for Chase? Same. D-Love, Gatson is hurt, undergoing an MRI today. Oh, yeah. Let's pull that up. Except for MRI on knee. Uh-oh. We'll see what happens. That's not great. Miguel traded Jefferson. Yep, we covered that one. Miguel. TPQR is Chubb droppable in a 10-man league. Thinking about dropping him for Trey Benson. Yeah, that's about a crossover. There might be someone else droppable or someone that could use Chubb in some sort of trade. July on YouTube, trade Josh Jacobs for Javonte or Javonte for Saquon. Sure, I probably would want Saquon the most out of those. Like, would I rather have Saquon than Javonte? I think so. Ooh, Abdel with a sub on YouTube puts us over 1,000. We crossed. It just says 1K, so it won't even show. It won't even update anymore. Thank you, Abdel, for the sub. Master Duck OMG yesterday was number 1,000. Fiery Tutor. Let's go, Mr. Bussalot. Just got my second win. Uh-oh. We want more than 2. Hey, congrats on getting number 2. Here's to 10 more. Unfortunately, it's probably going to need to go into next year to get up to 10 more. Joey Fatone, morning, had Bijan owner reach out to me that he's open for trading. Yeah. Get him. Boris on YouTube, would I trade a late 28 second for Kamara? Yeah. Do I know? I'll add this. We don't know that it's late. We don't know that it's 2028. We don't know that it's a late pick. Plenty of guys that were left for dead have popped up this year. Daniel Jones, Javonte Williams, like the values shift a ton is really all I'm trying to say. We don't know that it's late in 2028, but yes. Thick Luigi, I'd be fine with moving a second for Kamara. I'm up by 23 and I have A.J. Brown. He still has the Eagles defense and the Packers kicker. Am I somewhat safe? Luigi, I think you're all right. Piojo, I'm in a 2 starting quarterback league. Yes, that's the best kind. I have Hurts, Bo, and Flacco. Should I keep Hurts and Flacco and then package Bo for a trade? Package someone. You could package someone. If you're through all your buys, I think Bo Nix has a buy still, right? So actually, you might just need to worry about bye weeks. Flacco coming off the bye, I think Bo Nix still has one. I think he has one week 12. He'll play this week against Kansas City and then the bye week. So you'll have to worry about that. Laka OL, would you trade Ibuka for Bowers and Metcalf or Johnston? Yeah, I could. Yeah. Maybe Bowers isn't as good as we thought for fantasy football. For NFL, he's still very good. Would I move Ibuka for Bowers and another piece? I could, yeah. Logan, do you think Baker Mayfield will do well against his matchups rest of season? I mean, the Patriots were a tough defense and he threw 3 touchdowns. Unless I look up his stats and think he did horribly. No, 22's fine. The Patriots are a tough defense. He was okay. Buffalo and Rams are tough. I mean, what's the bad week was the Saints and Detroit. I think we're okay. That would have been without a fully healthy Ibuka. I think we're all right. You think I'm on offer Chase from TT Riffix? Yeah, whichever one. I probably wouldn't move either one of them in a deal like that, or they would just be interchangeable to me. Or if I was drafting 5 leagues, I would go 3 and 2 without really feeling strongly. Boris, if you're not trading that second for Kamara, what should you do with it? I mean, trade for Derrick Henry in a similar type of situation. Maybe add a little bit more if you have to. Logan, we covered that. Fiery Tutor, what's your favorite Celsius flavor? I'm trying to stop drinking Red Bulls. I'm not this one's called Arctic Vibe, and it's fine. I'm gonna be honest. I don't ever really notice. If you had asked me which flavor have you been drinking, unless I looked at it, I wouldn't know. I like Red Bull more. I like the taste of Red Bull more. Chris Bliss, who could I get in a trade for Rum and Tet? Chris Bliss, we covered that one in our video here. It's on YouTube. It's under My Ultimate Trade Tips. If you just navigate to the channel, it says steal this trade tip to win your fantasy football league. It's exactly that. If you have Rome and or Marv, or let's see, we've got Chris Bliss and Hunter Feister asking the same question. They have 2 players and they want to know what they can get. This is how I would build trades. So for each of you, just look, Chris, look 1 message down from yours, and Hunter, look 1 message up, and get a gauge for how often we get a question like that. That's why we have it as a YouTube video. Thierry Lorenz on TikTok, trade Odunze for Derrick Henry? Sure. Cheeto Torres, do you help win fantasy leagues? Hopefully that's part of what happens here. Hopefully it's fun to listen to, but I think I do want that to be part of it. Camden Tostinson, how to join Discord. Let's cover both of those questions. Do I help people win their leagues? I hope so. And how do you join the Discord where you could get more help? You could check out, if you are on your screen on TikTok and you see where the browser is, right below that, if you gaze right on through the chat, just like a magic eye, look through the chat, you can see more text that says Fantasy Team Reviews in Discord. And then there's a link, tinyurl.com/boomdiscord, where you can join and submit your team for a review. Jergem3, welcome back. Just traded away Nico and Ken Walker for C9. Did I whiff? I don't think so. I would rather have CD. I just said CeeDee Lamb and my phone thought that I was talking to them. Like Siri. But I'm not. Let's put the schedule back up. Let's keep cruising. Adrian Gotway's up 36 with A.J. Brown. Opponent has Hurts and Devonta Smith. Do you think I win? I hope you do. Unless your opponent is also in this chat. If they're in this chat, I probably hope you win because you asked most recently. But I hope you do, and I think you could. TT Rifix ETN for Bucky. I have Cook and Achan. I'm 8-2, hoping Bucky comes back for the playoffs. Do you think he has the best playoff schedule? I think that trade's fine. Trade ETN, you already have Cook and Achan. You don't need anyone, and you get a value gain in Bucky. I think that's all right. One Walling, how do we feel about Cortland, Olave, and Bill for Jettas and Travion? I would take Justin Jefferson and Travion there. One Walling says, I do it TTR. I don't know what that means, but I think that's okay. Or you're responding to someone. I'm not used to people replying to each other, is what I'm learning. We'll get there. Thick Luigi, we just have to see. I'm hoping AJ does not have a dud day. Same. I've got him in a league. I need him to bounce back. MS, do you think Justin Jefferson is a... I muted myself. I'm just in a league where someone said, I'll send you Garrett just for Rice. And I was like, buddy, it's more than that. Should you move Garrett Wilson and a second for Rice? Where do they end up next year? I think their values are similar in the market. I mean, keep trade cut is not true value. It's just what people think, what they would trade. So if we pull them up, like it's got Rice ahead. If you add a 26 second, here's the thing that's tough. I don't want to move Rice unless I'm getting a first of some sort on top of this because Garrett Wilson is just not playing. And Rashee Rice is probably still undervalued on these rankings as wide receiver 10. He has massive upside. It just hasn't happened enough times yet. He's been injured, so his value dipped really low. It's starting to come back up now that he's playing. Once he started playing again, people went, "Oh yeah, he's good at football." But he's got really high upside, so I would probably want a little bit more than a second on top. Maybe you have to add something in to get up to a first, but I would want that. One Wally says enough spam. We'll read it at some point. Trust the process. Sorry for the hate, but he reads 99.9% of the chat. That is Twitch and YouTube chat. TikTok, we try as well, but it is way, way tougher. All right, we call it. Real G Savage did call out the mute. Let's cover Real G Savage. I traded Devontae Adams. Okay. DeMarcado, fine. Nick Chubb, fine. For Derrick Henry and Devonta Smith. I think I like it. I like it. Why am I being dumb? I like this deal. You did move one of the best parts, Devontae Adams. I think he's excellent. But you get Derrick Henry and Smith for Mercado and Chubb on top. I like that fine. I like that quite a bit. DC Lopez, I picked up Trey Benson. What do you think? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think he's better than... he is better than Bam Knight and Amari DeMarcado. Got a little bit distracted. Someone named Da Pizza Rat has said Dable got canned. Do we have that coming in from other spots? I don't see it. I don't see it. We'll give it a couple minutes, Pizza Rat. Juju not on beat. Rice wasn't injured. He was suspended. Health is intact. Mentation is another question. He was injured, though. He was also injured. I think we knew it was good signs that he would be fine. And he played a little bit in the preseason, but he was also coming back from an injury. All right. TPQ, I'm up 31. We covered that one. Enough spam. Genko on YouTube. It's been 5 minutes. Here we go, Genko. I have Saquon, Brees, Rico, Hampton. I need a wide receiver. What should I do? I don't know. Trade Brees for a wide receiver. Trade Rico Dowdle for a wide receiver. Trade Saquon for a... Genko. I've got the video of how I build trades here. But be open to moving every player on your team to get a wide receiver. Gary Jr., I traded Bucky for Chase Brown. Thoughts? That's fine by me. That's fine. He's playing. Jojo, I have May and Mahomes and trying to offload one to improve my team. Kind of want to give up one of them plus Waddle for a better wide receiver. What would you give up and who should I get? Jojo, so same thing. We've got that video here of here's how I build 2-for-1 targets. I did a video on TikTok today, and that was the exact example I give. That now that we're late in the season, I think maybe it didn't get in on the take that I used for the final version. But I know I definitely was in my kitchen saying I don't want to have a team that has Drake May and Pat Mahomes. Here's the thing, though. So the question that you ask, which one would you give up and who should I get? Here's how I would build a target of who to get, and I don't care who I give up. It is going to be hard to move those guys and not have to take a quarterback on. Or it could be in your league. I found that to be kind of tough. So whichever one I can get to move, I will move. As long as the deal makes sense. They're both very good. It is more important to me that I move one rather than pick one and move them. Rocco Slim, what are your thoughts on Travion stock? It's up. The market will have him higher than I probably do. Same way I didn't ever get as high on Monungai as other people. I think the fantasy scores end up being pretty close on the week. Monungai gets in the end zone, but Swift, it was still split. And Swift looked good. Let's look at the fantasy scores for this week. Because on the Sunday morning chat, I said, I'm picking Swift over Monungai. He got 14. This would be full PPR scoring. And Monungai got 8. And after he got the touchdown, I thought, oh, Monungai over Swift was probably right. But it wasn't. So Henderson, what do I think of Henderson's stock? I'll probably still be slow. Because we've seen a lot of weeks of the coaches saying that Ramondre is the lead guy. Henderson looks okay, but that doesn't mean us liking someone more and then them looking okay does not mean that things switch. I'm seeing another person say Brian Daboll fired. We'll see it. We'll see it, but yeah, should be. And the GM too. P. Yojo, is it worth trading Kyren for Olave? Depending on the position, the positional breakdown of your roster. Like if you have multiple running backs, I think it's okay. You might be able to get more. Let's see, Jason22 has sent the hat and mustache. Thank you. Cheeto Torres with the roses. Thank you, Cheeto Torres. Where is JCIN? I saw roses as well. Here we go. Was offered Jamar and Javonte for JT and Ladd. Would I do that? Would I move Jonathan Taylor and Ladd for Jamar and Javonte? Like, I could. I think honestly, if you gave me both teams, or a team that had Jamar and Ladd, and and Javonte, and a team that had Ladd and JT, I'd be happy with either one. So should you do it? Kind of just calling your shot and saying that you know how things will go, but I don't feel like one side is clearly better. If anything, I think the Colts haven't had their bye week yet, so that would be the difference. It's like I think the Colts go on bye right now. Yeah, they go on bye coming back from Germany. The Falcons don't. That would be the only really difference makers, trying to stack another week with a bye situation. We're getting multiple people saying that Daboll is gone. I don't see reports on it yet. I mean, I'm sure Google hasn't updated it. I'm sure I could find it on Twitter if it's real. I just don't have that set up for streaming very quickly yet. Piojo, we covered that one. Kyren for Olave, like, yeah, you might be able to get more. Seven, any changes I should make? I'm fourth in the league currently, and then this is just your team. Seven, we do team reviews in our Discord, so we don't do them on the live stream. We have our channel in the Discord called Roster Help and Screenshots, where you post your team, and then we open up a thread back and forth. Some of these have, they only stay open for a couple days. That's why there's only a few here. We don't get as many on Sunday because no one's looking to make moves for their team. But we do that through our Discord. You can type !Discord in YouTube and Twitch to get the link. And if you're on TikTok, it's on your screen behind the chat. MS, should I trade away Waddle to avoid the bye? Who should I target? You should always be shopping all of your players. Who should you target? I mean, check in your league and see what people think of Jaylen Waddle. We had someone yesterday on the live stream say, I want to start Jaylen Waddle, but I'm worried about Tua. And that just seems like, that doesn't make any sense to me. He's basically always had Tua. And whatever we think of Jaylen Waddle has been pretty much always tied to Tua. So people are going to have weird thoughts on Jaylen Waddle. Check in on your league, MS. There's only 9 or 11 people if you're in a 10-team or a 12-person league. So see who even wants Jaylen Waddle. Who's even open to it. Jason says, yeah, he's out. I trust Jason. Is JCIN a neat spelling for Jason? Brandon, Jennings and Parker Washington for T? Sure. Yeah. Logan, thoughts on Romeo Dobbs tonight? He's going to decide whether I win or lose the week. Like, I can't change the future. Is he your only option? I can't convince you to start anyone else. I don't think you have anyone else. He's probably going to get close to double digits. All right, we got Brandon saying Daboll just got fired. Pizza Rat was the first one I saw it from. We've got Jason. Yep, that's the one that we saw saying, yes, he's out. Let's just try. I don't have a Twitter, so if I just search Schefter Twitter, it's not going to show me his most recent thing. Schefter Twitter Daboll. Maybe that will. Adam Schefter, here's AI overview. They've already covered that. That's pretty fast for a system to pull the AI to read that, but yes. Breaking news. Adam Schefter 9 minutes ago, as of this, 11:45 tweet. Yeah, he's out. Let's see, who's the interim? Will be their 6th head coach since 2016. Oh, that doesn't matter. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why they stuck with him in the offseason. Logan with the follow on Twitch. Weaves just need 11 points from Hurts to win this week, thanks to Jonathan Taylor and Gibbs having monster days. Hey, very good, very good, very good. Nameless just dropped to 5-5. I feel like I have the right process, but my players are underperforming. You just got to get into the playoffs. And a lot of the times with league settings, like 500 gets you in. 7-7 can squeak in. So 8-6, I feel like you're not out of it. Loki on TikTok trade Rome and Monty to get Kittle and Johnston. You may have lost Gadsden, set at wide receiver. I think so. I don't think I see your process. You have wide receivers. You have CD, Nico, and Diggs. They're all going to have been through their bye week, I think. Maybe Diggs hasn't, and Diggs has been okay. I'm not sure on their bye week. I think it might be a later one, but that isn't bad. Trade Rome and Monty to get Kittle and Johnston. Yeah, we're okay. That doesn't seem insane. Aiden Thompson, it's on Insta. Nelson Morales, thoughts on Manungai and Jacoby Myers. Manungai, not really changing that much up. I don't think we have... Okay, snap percentages are loading in. These aren't available immediately after the game. Looks like they are available on Monday. I mean, DeAndre Swift had one of the higher snap percentages since week 4. They went on bye week 5, and then he's been under 60% since then. And his first week back from injury, he's back over 62% against the Giants. That's a bit fluky. I think I'm just calling out 60 as a almost meaningless number threshold, but 60% of the snaps, 13% of the carries, 8 targets. Manungai with 7 carries and 1 target. Like, he's okay. He's okay. He's a decent player, but he hasn't been better than Swift. And Swift is still going to be the lead guy. And then what was the other one? Oh, I think someone had called out Insta. I try not to ever look at Instagram. Snipers on. All right, we are now about 10 minutes behind on Twitch and YouTube. So let's get caught up right now. So if your question is there, we will get to it. You don't have to post it again. Snipers, do I try to sell Jefferson? You should always try to sell everyone you have, Snipers. There's no reason not to be shopping your players. You don't ever have to accept a deal, but you do need to know what the deals are. So should you try to sell Jefferson? Should you try to sell every single player? Yes. Yes. It's DJ. What do you do? Would I do Bowers and BTJ for Lamb? I could. If I had no tight end, would I move Lamb to get that? That's not an insane deal. I don't know that I would be looking for that, though. Like, if I just lost Kincaid and Kraft, I don't know that my next move would be, well, I gotta sell CeeDee Lamb to solve this problem. Nick has awoken. I get Bijan and Rome for Justin and Bucky. Sure, that doesn't raise any red flags. Steph's online with the follow on Twitch, and I belched, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Fiery Tutor, trade Achane and Rome for Henry and Ibuka. No, I'd probably say with Achane and Rome. With a slight edge, just thinking Achane is better than Henry, and Rome and Ibuka are pretty similar. Maybe we're taking Ibuka over Rome. Rome has had more disappointing days, but he's still the lead target in that offense. We could do that swap, but I like Achane a little bit more. Joey Fatone, Shefty confirmed. Gabriel, do you like Rome or Marv more rest of season? Feel like Marv will be more consistent? I don't know. I don't like Jacoby Brissett that much. I'm not someone who's as in on saying going to a much worse quarter. We have a lot of years of Jacoby Brissett being an NFL quarterback. He is not amazing. I don't know that I'm on board with saying he's for sure better than Kyler. Who do I like more rest of season? I'd probably put him in the same rank and in the same tier, and I might have Marv slightly more ahead. All right, here is a couple minutes ago. A lot of people reporting on Dayball. One Walling, thoughts on Giants having a winning record next year? I think it's very possible. I think it's possible. Sorry, TikTok thinks that I don't know if it's because I don't move side to side enough, but it starts to think I'm not even here. Thoughts on them having a winning record next year? It's definitely possible. Bears are 6-3. They had a losing record last year. There's plenty of teams that turn it around in 1 year, and I think it's Dayball. I think Dayball was a big part of the problem. if you move on from Daniel Jones and he goes to another team and is immediately way better, it might be the coach. It might be the coach. Saquon Barkley leaves and is amazing. Daniel Jones leaves and is amazing. Much better. Maybe not amazing. I think that might be sign. C. Kai S. just got offered Jettas, Genty, and Diggs for Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, you could. That feels like a lot. Dog's freaking out. Genko, trust me, I am. My league is like an old age home, complete silence, and 3 of my running backs are top 10. Genko, I will add. Maybe I think I don't recognize your name. I immediately forget everything that gets said. So if I have responded to something and this is a follow-up, I apologize, but I can't maintain everything. I don't know what we're talking about. Unspoken Legends, what's up? Currently on track to go 8-2. Yes. Eagles defense would have to score 68 points for me to lose, which you could be fine with 6-7. You could be okay with 6-7. For a reference, the Jets defense scored 68. Okay, yeah, you're probably fine. Remo with the follow on TikTok. Nick has awoken. I get Bijan and Rome. I give Justin and Bucky. What do you think? I think we covered that one. One Walling says Holy Fleece is something. Shane Kindred, Bucky playing football is all I can ask for. That's true. It's all I want for Christmas. That and my 2 front teeth. Snipers, what do I do with Jefferson? We are just starting to get some of the repeats, so we'll keep scanning. Addison let me down this week from Only Gabe. Yeah, he's been letting me down as well. One Walling, Henry never had a breakout game his rookie year. That's true. At least in my memory, I know he had a slow rookie year. I have not gone through and checked everything. Nick has awoken. We covered that. TPQR Henderson is 3 times the player Stevenson is, though. That's the one. That's probably one of the biggest flaws in people playing fantasy. We don't know that. We just don't know that. That he's 3 times the player. Like, I'm going to tell you, I don't have any. I like TPQR. Always. None of this is an attack on them. We don't know who the better player is. We don't know if a player needs to learn or if the way that the coach is trying to teach players thing is a good idea. I've seen a lot of interviews of Brian Daboll and things that he does. Just recently fired. I thought he sucked as a head coach and that the methods he used seemed really stupid. A lot of like fake testing of players and nothing worth getting into. He's not a head coach anymore. Mike Vrabel has shown he's very successful. So if he thinks the best plan is to go with Ramondre Stevenson, he knows way more than I do. So is he 3 times the player? I think one of the best things you can do for fantasy football is determine if someone is a good coach and then just kind of follow what they do. So if they keep going with Stevenson, it's probably for a reason. They're 8-2. Pappy OV, how do you build trades? Like this. We've got this video, Pappy on YouTube. How do I build trades? This is how I do it. I'm typically going for 2 for 1s or 3 for 2s. This video shows 2 for 1s, but 3 for 2s would be very similar. I'm looking at Kyron and his owner needs a wide receiver. Yep, check it out. This is the framework for it. Marcus Monet, I have Saquon and Jacobs down 32. Think I got good odds? Yeah, a little bit. Donovan Bencomo, is there any concern on Kyron Williams? No. I didn't think people would ask that today. Didn't he get in the end zone? 58% of the snaps, 14 touches, 2 touchdowns, 22 points. Am I concerned? I mean, they were up 4. I think the final score was 44-26 or 42-26. He's running back 9 on the year, drafted as about running back 12, 13. Is the concern like we're worried he might get too much better than we paid? I don't understand the concern on Kyron. We drafted him to be an RB1. He's been an RB1. He's doing a lot of the same stuff that he's done for years on slightly less touches, but still finding the end zone. I don't have a concern on Kyron. And I didn't mean to go harder on you specifically. That's just one of the players I haven't had a concern on. Not everyone's the best player at their position, but he's an RB1 and he's been what he was drafted to be. T-Rowan, I'm down 51. You have Barkley, Devontae, and Goddard going in tonight. Do you think I have a shot? Yeah, I think you should watch it. Steph's online. I've come from TikTok. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. That was only 5 minutes ago, guys. We are catching up. Zoots, Dak or Stafford rest of season. They would be a very similar tier. I mean, and then I would probably take descriptors of them, and that would like make me even mentally put them in more into the same tier. Like, they're both older players. They're both pocket passers who won't run. They're both going to get a lot of touchdowns this year. I think they're both good. Whichever one I have is fine. Steph's online. What about Kamara, Monty, Devonta? Kamara, Monty, Devonta. Okay. For Jettas and Chase Brown. Yeah, I could move those three for Justin Jefferson and Chase Brown. I would want the Jettas side. Sean, Breece Hall, and Devonta Smith from McBride. That's okay. That's okay. That doesn't seem like too much. McBride has been really, really good. Mr. Luckaboo, how much has Garrett Wilson's value dropped? It's not going to... This is... As someone who plays Dynasty and I'm now in leagues where I'm trying to trade for players that are hurt as value gains, he's going to undergo imaging on Monday, so I guess we'll find out. But this just says he re-aggravated the knee that forced him to miss 2 games. And then a bye week. Is it another overextension of the knee? Did he hurt it in a different way? We don't know. And they're not going to tell us. I mean, maybe if it's a critical injury, we'll find out. But the Jets were continuously saying, I don't know, Garrett might play this week. So they'll tell us that he's playing even if he's in a wheelchair. If he was holding his leg across his arms like this, separated from his body, they would still tell us that he's going to play this Sunday. That's what I've seen from the Jets so far. Shane Kindred, 3 injured players on rookie contract isn't a great look either. Feel like at least Dart could have been avoided. Yeah, the Giants are pretty bad. It's a rough situation. Bryce Webster, would you trade Trey Benson for Alvin Kamara and PPR? I'm hurting at running back with Warren, Dobbins, and Krosky Merritt. I mean, Dobbins is a fine RB2, and Warren is fine as well. If you just wanted to up tier, I probably would go with just trading any wide receiver that you have with Warren or Dobbins to get a better running back. One Walling, better rest of season, Sutton or Tet? I don't know. Here's a wild one. Shane, Joe Burrow at practice today. Don't say that. On track to return in mid-December. Let me send a thing right now. On track to return in mid-December is interesting. Nothing yet. So, I mean, this stuff might take a little bit of time. Maybe you saw, was it a tweet that said that? Was it a tweet saying that he's back at practice? Okay. Just sent out a trade for Joe Burrow. July on YouTube. Trade Javonte and Kittle for McBride and Hampton. You're 9-1. Yeah, there's definitely teams, if I'm 9-1, where I would do that. Up tier from Kittle to McBride, take the injury risk in the couple weeks without Hampton. I would say, like, there's a chance that we don't have Hampton back by the time we think. We don't know when he's coming back, so I would keep that in mind. If you can survive that, then go for it. Miller Colkit sending GGs. Says, you like Brown and Abuka for Bijan? I mean, I feel like we're paying the full price on Bijan there. I think I would rather have Bijan. Ethan says he's practicing today. Ethan, you proposing me the trade and I'm in the live. That was you. Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, accept it. I feel like we should accept it. I was going to send it to you today anyway. I don't think he's practicing. Everyone tell Ethan that Joe Burrow's not practicing. Jake Blackwood returning in limited fashion today per Adam Schefter. I don't think so. That's specifically for Ethan. Everyone else can listen to that report. Let's see. Gabriel Leonard, CD, and Rome for Jamar. I wouldn't give up that much to go from CD to Jamar, Gabe. Bo Brown, I'm down by 50, or I'm up by 50. My opponent has Dallas Goedert. Am I okay? I think you're okay. I think you're all right. Let's tone this down. The sun is not going away. Extra sunny today. Piojo, Kyron for Olave. You asked depends on my depth. I know you would say go to Discord. I mean, if you have it here. If you have Bijan, Bucky, Dowdle, Vidal, Kyron, JSN, Ibuka, Dobbs, Trey Tucker. I don't know that you need a... I don't know that the move I would make with that team would be Kyron for Olave. If you only have to start JSN and Ibuka and they're both through their bye week, let's just try to get a better player. Trade. You have Bijan, Bucky, Dowdle, and Kyron. Trade like Dowdle and Vidal for a better wide receiver, a better running back. Eccentric, would you trade Mahomes and Swift or Monangai for Stafford and Olave? Yeah, I could. That doesn't seem crazy. Rob MC didn't have a bad week, but now I need Jacobs to turn into Jonathan Taylor. Ooh. Uh-oh. So someone else had a great week. And then Diggs or Sutton rest of season. I'll still give the slight edge to Sutton. Unspoken Legends, think of it this way. Stevenson is a less efficient runner, but is good enough to keep the drive going, allowing for more time of possession, keeping the defense off the field. Sometimes it's better for a team in terms of game script, and they're obviously playing well as a team. Yeah. Talking about Henderson versus Stevenson. I don't know what the exact issue is, but your breakdown of it doesn't seem crazy. Is Johnny says, what's up? Great call on me trading away Diggs. I took Henderson over Benson from the other guy, and he destroyed yesterday. I like when people say, good call. It's about how I feel about it. Tyrone Dart was on pace for a 40-point game until he got injured. Yikes. I need him to come back. Liam, should I trade Jayden Reed in a mid to late first for DK and a second? Trying to get another piece to contend, but I already have Rice. Like, if it's just to contend, I feel like it seems... Okay, Jayden Reed and a first for DK and a second. A late first for DK and then Reed for a second. Something doesn't smell right there. Like, why do we have to add more to a first? Do you want to be moving Jayden Reed for a late second? I don't know that I do. I think you could probably get DK for just a first. I would take just a first for DK right now on plenty of teams. Joe, should I trade May for Lamar? You can. Do you have another quarterback? We might want to move them too. Steph's online. If Joe Burrow comes back, then should I drop Goff or Love? I don't know when he does come back. And I know we were talking to Ethan. I was trying to make a trade with Ethan. I don't know that we're going to know the answer to this today. Let's get a gauge of what he's doing at practice. Is he just back? This has not... Okay, Toe to return to practice Monday will be limited. In a limited capacity on Monday, it opens up the 21-day practice window for Joe Burrow. Targeting a return in December, but appears he could be back in 3 weeks. 21 days. Could be back in week... We just did... This would be week 11, 12, 13. Back by the fantasy playoffs. That would be good. Do we drop someone? I would drop Love over Goff. J. Biro. Oh my gosh, we are almost caught up, gang. Is a 27 first, 26 second, and Horton too much for Garrett Wilson? No. I don't think that's too much. Ian Rappaport, the practice window is open, so it's 21 days to decide. I mean, I guess he could still come back and be on the roster and sit out a game if he's not ready in 3 weeks. But that's a good sign. Ebase, if I can get Nico and Odunze, for Jettas, would I do it? I feel like McCarthy is killing Jettas. I mean, he had 12 targets yesterday, right? He had double digit. I don't know why I searched Jetta like that would find him. The targets are still, and it was probably McCarthy in week 9, McCarthy in week 12. Like, these are just tougher defenses. If you hold him and you're trying to get rid of him, I would say get in on Jefferson before he plays Chicago, who are still just very injured on defense. Baltimore is a pretty good defense who has recovered from injury mostly. Detroit is a solid defense, and those are the games where McCarthy started and he didn't look amazing. If you're really worried about it, I would say stay another week. But getting Nico into Odunze's, would I do it? That's where it's starting to get possible. Like, Nico's really good. I really like Odunze. Something's blowing up. Someone cheered 10 bits. Rags cheering 10 bits. Not sure if you saw my message. Should I drop Mixon for Burrow? I don't need a backup quarterback till week 14. Yeah, I would drop Mixon for Burrow. And here's advice for everyone live. Because the Bengals were on bye, did they lock? Check and see if they lock, because you might be able to just pick up Burrow right now. If you have someone that hasn't played, like ESPN, your players lock, and I don't think you can drop them if they've played. But if Burrow's available and someone hasn't gone, on Yahoo you can drop people who have played, and I don't know if Burrow would have locked for the week because he didn't play this week. Like, Nameless just dropped DK for Burrow. Like, go check. Only Gabe trade Waddle for Judkins? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. African Mamba, I traded Travion Henderson and Hunter Henry for Jaylen Warren. Currently first in the league, 7-1. Did I make a bad trade? So any trade should really just be evaluated with the information you had at the time. We've been saying Henderson should break out at some point. We've been saying that about Harvey. It hasn't happened yet. There's plenty of players that we break out and we want to break out and they don't. Did you make a terrible move? With hindsight, it's not amazing. Travion Henderson and Hunter Henry got sent for Jaylen Warren, and now Henderson looks really good and Jaylen Warren looks about the same. We don't know. But would I rather have Travion? Possibly. I don't even know that it's as bad as it feels. Jesus Freak 3, good morning. I think Monungai is droppable at this point. Yeah? I mean, there's going to be leagues where what he did yesterday is still useful. I don't know that they were sustaining that many drives, but there's a chance he's closer. Yeah. There's definitely, maybe he should be owned in every league, but not every team. So that would mean droppable. Colin Rooney, I have Gibbs and Amon-Ra. Do I keep both or try to trade? Colin, hopefully you're still here. I'm only 6 minutes behind on the chats. The answer is always try to trade. Not because they're on the same team. That I don't care about. Their bye week is already done. We are fine having multiple players from the same team. Should you try to trade Gibbs or Amon-Ra? Yes, because there's always a chance you could trade them for more than they are worth. Someone might like them more than you do and would give you more. So yes. Someone might let you do Gibbs and very little to get to Jonathan Taylor. So take a look and see what's available. The best thing you can do for your team, Colin, is always be shopping your players. Only Gabe, trade Waddle for Judkins. We covered that one. That one's fine. That's fine. Rob MC, which side? Lamar, Sutton, and Waddle, or Prescott, CeeDee, and Judkins? A slight edge to Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Laka OL, do you prefer Metcalf or Johnston? Probably Metcalf, but they're very close. Unspoken Legends with the takes. Let's see it. I genuinely believe that Joe Burrow should not return this year unless Flacco gets hurt. Bengals are most likely not making the playoffs. Just use Flacco for the season and not risk a re-injury for your star. What are they, 3-6? Three and 6, they could make the playoffs. Burrow's good enough. So we'll see. I understand you don't want to. I don't ever get in as much on. You don't want to risk hurting your players. Like if it's a toe injury and he's fully healed, he's fully healed. Does he get? We're all just kind of guessing. Maybe you're a doctor and you know something more about turf toe than we do. But if the doctor says he's fully healed and he's at no more risk of injury today than in the future, then it doesn't matter that much. Nate, Gibbs for Taylor in Dynasty. I think I would stay with Gibbs. I think I would stay with Gibbs there. Gibbs or Jonathan Taylor in Dynasty. I think I'll just take the younger guy. Batman 4620. Should I move Derrick Henry and Justin Jefferson? Wait, should I move Derrick Henry and Justin Jefferson? Oh, I didn't process that as I read it. Like, yeah, you should always be shopping all of your players, Batman. I'm not making it a priority to move them more than anyone else, but you should be checking in on, are people excited? Would they pay up? Would they overpay? And let me go back to this one for Nate. Would I rather have Gibbs or Jonathan Taylor in Dynasty? I would probably rather have Gibbs, and I have not gone in and looked at what like keep trade cut market is for Taylor. So it is taking into account that he's 27. And this is kind of what I was expecting. Like you could get more for Gibbs than just Jonathan Taylor. And this value might dip a little bit in the offseason. Although like Saquon held really high. I would be fine bringing Jonathan Taylor in, but he is someone that I would probably then move away in the offseason and just get younger at running back. Piojo says, I think I'm good to make the playoffs. Currently 8-1. I might win this week, making me 9-1. I like it. Playoff view is first and second get a first week playoff bye. Should I pick up Burrow? Yeah, pick up Burrow. Shane Kindred, Todd Bowles made it clear he doesn't expect Bucky or Godwin back up against the Bills. Could cry. I'm sorry to hear it, boss. I'm there with you in a couple dynasty leagues. Traded Rome, Henderson, and Monungai for Chase Brown and Addison. Oh. I think I like Rome, Henderson, and Monungai there. Depending. I don't know that I feel amazing about that one. Or I don't know that I feel strongly about my side is what I mean, not about the deal. Camden, what's up? He says, what's up, Jack? I'm in a rough spot. Going to be 3-7, lost by 0.10 points. Is it possible to make the playoffs? Yes. Yeah, there's plenty of leagues that have 6 teams get in, and you can get in 7-7. So yeah, play it out. Do you know who I can get for Henry and Garrett Wilson that is a running back? I mean, if you're trading Garrett Wilson and Henry, you should be able to get one of the best running backs. They might not do it, but that is the price that they would cost. Let me turn the camera down a little. Very, very sunny, and it's all reflecting off the snow. We got snow in the backyard, and it reflects sunlight right into my face. E-Base, how do you feel about Jettas and Benson for Amon-Ra? I would take Amon-Ra there. I would take Amon-Ra. Benson wouldn't be enough for me to take on any sort of risk there. Civ and I have Dak. Would you trade Nico or keep Nico for CD or keep Nico? I think I would just rather have CeeDee Lamb in general. Crimney need 45 points. Do we win these? What do you got? Hurts and AJ Brown? You win it. eBase, is this my website? No, this is Keep Trade Cut, a dynasty website. That's keeptradecut.com. They just it's not an amazing tool, but what it does is tracks. When you log in, it'll do a little pop-up and ask you to rank 3 players for dynasty, and then it builds values based on that. So it says crowdsource market values for dynasty fantasy football, and that's how they do it. It definitely has uses, but I think it gets overused by people building trades, like trade calculators in general for dynasty or for redraft. Don't do a very good job of tracking trades that have unbalanced sides. 3 for 2, 4 for 3, 2 for 1. It's almost always better to take the one side or the side with fewer players, especially in redraft. Chris White, should I pick up Ricky Pearsall or Travis Hunter for rest of season? This is my last question for the season. What? Why? Why would it be your last question? Oh, but thank you for all the help. I'm in first in my league. Who would I pick up? I think Pearsall's back sooner, but we have no clue. We just don't know. I think Pearsall's back sooner and then would become tradable value for you sooner or usable. Big Joser, Garrett Wilson tried his hardest to sell, but he got the dub thanks to Kittle and Odunze. I like it. And the touchdown for Kittle was trash time touchdown. D-Love, is it time to panic on Addison? A smidge. If we look at the game stats from yesterday, Justin Jefferson, 12 targets. I think Addison was also double digits. Was he 12 or 13 targets? He was 11 targets. I knew it was one off. Or I thought it was one off. So I said Jefferson got 12. Addison got 11. Jalen Naylor had the best day. These guys were the offense. It just didn't work out. The fun dip, taking snow off my car today was not fun. No. We walk most of the places we go. I took my daughter to school, and it's just a quick walk. So we didn't have to do any of that, and I don't miss it. Where are we? Alex, Dak Prescott, or Jackson Dart? I mean, for this week or rest of season? For this upcoming week, I have not looked at ranks, but Jackson Dart has been evaluated 4 times for concussion. We'll see what happens this week, if he even plays. Nameless, think Otten is worth a pickup with Gadsden and Kincaid injuries? Yeah. Winging it with Winger, would you trade Tet and Hunt for Adams? Tet and Kareem Hunt for Devontae Adams? Yes. Reese, Kennedy, Henderson, or Judkins rest of season? We don't know. I think it's okay to say we don't know. If I had Judkins, would I move him for Henderson? I don't know that I would. I might look for something else where I feel more confident in knowing what the player I'm getting is. And I don't know what Henderson is. And if I could move him like he's a top 12 guy right now, I probably would. Let's see, Alex on multiple spots, YouTube and Twitch, asking Dak Prescott or Jackson Dart rest of season. He may have just missed it as I answered it. Probably Dak. I would have had Dak higher before Dart got injured. He's got a concussion, so we'll see. Sean Tanks, Joey B is in his open window. Yes. Trade just came into me. That's not a good trade. Jurg M3, trade away Swift and Ken Walker for Henry. Yeah, I would take Derrick Henry there. And just up tier. Logan on YouTube. And then we got Edge LOL on Twitch. Logan, trade Dobbins and Odunze for Chase Brown and Godwin. I don't know why you have to include Dobbins there. I feel like it wouldn't be crazy to send Chase Brown just for Odunze. Maybe I believe too much in Odunze. I feel like you're sending a bit too much there. And like Godwin not playing this week is what we've already seen. I'm not looking for it. It's Johnny Dart confirmed with a concussion and Jayden Daniels out too. Would you suggest I keep one or both on IR until further notice? You picked up Love for the next week. Let's hold with Jackson Dart. It's possible he doesn't miss a week. It's possible he only misses 1 week. But Jordan Love for next week. I have not looked at his matchup. Could be a fine fill-in. But let's wait a couple days for things to progress. You don't even have to drop someone until tomorrow for waivers. It's not a great waiver week anyway. Let's see what the news is. They could both be holdable. Ryan Tomczyk, I got offered Jamar Chase and Bucky Irving for Jonathan Taylor. Is that worth it? If you felt like you could move Bucky for a starting thing right now, it's probably worth it. Rob MC have Gadsden and Kincaid, assuming they're both out for a couple weeks. It's a lot. It's hitting me how many tight ends are hurt. Schultz, Hawkinson, and Pitts currently available. Probably Schultz or Pitts. We'll track the matchups, but it would be those guys over Hawkinson. Mr. Luckaboo. Would I do Garrett Wilson for Derrick Henry? I would take Derrick Henry. Poppy OV should be trading and looking at playoff matchups. I'm 4-5 and will likely be 5-5. I think if I'm 5-5, I'm trying to look at this week matchups and like make sure I get into the playoffs. Sean Tanks, I have Chase, just put Joey B on IR slot. Might be late playoff move. Could be. Definitely could be. Let's see what happens. Let me see if I can grab him in a league. Let's take a look. I'm not even sure if he's available. Joe Burrow ad. No ads until an IR spot player is moved. Oh boy. Can I drop players? No. No, I can't drop players on ESPN. So I'll get them on waivers. Piojo, based on new Texas QB balling out this week, is Nico worth trading for? I've always liked Nico Collins. Would I trade for Nico or Olave? Who do I like more? Nico Collins. I like Nico Collins more. I wouldn't call them even. I don't know that trades for them should be even. I don't think I ever dipped that low on Nico Collins, but they were in desperate catch-up mode. Let's pull this up to get a gauge of like how it's not going to be a great way to look at things. If we go to scores, what I want to see is like how far down did the Texans get? I know they came back and won, but how much of this game were they in desperate catch-up mode? You can go to play-by-play, and there's no timestamps on these, but 17-0 at one point, 20-10. I mean, at halftime, they were down 10, then down 13, then down 19. Was the quarterback balling out, or was it they'll allow you to pass a little bit? Is kind of what I'm trying to call out here. They did eventually win, but most of the time, Jacksonville wins that game and the teams don't come back into it. So I don't know that I really like Davis Mills at all. CJ Stroud is better than Mills, and just a lot of the time they can't move the ball as much. I still like Nico. Let's see. I think I missed Brennan. Traded Cook and Rice for Jettas and Jacobs. Sure. I think that's fine. Their playoff schedule looked nice. I don't worry a ton about that, but that trade is fine. Did I miss Ryan? Got off for Jamar Chase. Yeah, we did that one. Rob MC covered that. Edge LOL, Bucky and BTJ for Nico. Sure. BTJ's been pretty bad. Bucky, we don't even know when he's coming back. I guess that's fine. Cali Dog, Fannin, Andrews, or Otten rest of season. Let's go with Otten. I don't know when anyone is coming back, like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. This offense on Sunday was mostly Ibuka, Otten, and a little bit of Tez. So I'll chase the targets of Otten there. I like Fannin too if you can't get Otten. And Andrews gets touchdowns, but he's not a massive target part of the offense. Juven00, what should I do about Justin Jefferson? I like him, but he's not producing enough. The Ravens are a pretty good defense. Detroit, that they had just played against, also a pretty decent defense. They play Chicago this week. If you have Jefferson, I would hold him until I expect him to beat up on Chicago. Who saw this? Fernando Escamilla, how do I join your Discord? It's right on your screen. So there's a browser. Here's where my mouse is on that browser. And then as you go down, right below the browser, it'll say Fantasy Team Reviews in Discord. And then that text right below that line is the link. So if you just put that in your browser, tinyurl.com/boomdiscord, you should be able to get in. It'll do the invite. If you're on Twitch or YouTube, you can type !Discord to get the link. If you're on Twitch, on your desktop, you can also just scroll down and there should be a button that says Discord. And on YouTube, all of the videos will have it in the description. It might be in the description of this live stream as well. Ryan Tomchek, you think Joe Burrow is going to return soon? A couple weeks, I think so. Trying to scan for messages that I missed. Shane Kindred is offering DK and Benson for Nico. Disrespectful. Chuba is his running back too. I don't think it's disrespectful. People have been panicked on Nico. Let's see, we got a follow on Twitch from 7 to J. Thank you. Brennan H. What'd you say about the Rice and Cook? I said it was okay. I don't worry about the playoff matchups. This was a trade of James Cook and Rashee Rice for Justin Jefferson and Josh Jacobs. Close enough. Raymond Martinez, maybe I misspoke. It's !Discord on YouTube. to get that link to Discord. I might have misspoken. Tate Slater, the soothsayer, congrats on 10K. Oh, yeah, thank you. We're cruising. I think we're at 13 something now. We're cruising. Snow says, should I trade Cook? I don't recognize Snow, but talking about James Cook, the answer to that question, Snow, the answer of should I trade a player for me is always yes. Should you trade James Cook? You should shop him. You should find out what you could get for him. Fernando Escamilla says, what could I get for CD? Here, let's say we don't do a ton of these on Monday because I'm generally pulling them from real trades that have happened. But if we want to see what someone has traded for CeeDee Lamb in the past couple days, today someone got Roma Dunze and Lamar for CD. Someone got Stephon Diggs and Jordan Addison. I would rather have CD. Someone sent CD for Amon-Ra. I like them about the same. So you could do the same thing for James Cook. Someone asked, should I trade James Cook? Snow, you just always want to be shopping. The way to win your fantasy football league is by tracking what the other managers in your league think of specific players and then making trades based on that. If someone loves James Cook and will give you Bijan for him because he's panicked about Bijan, then yeah, trade James Cook. Raymond Martinez, panic on Judkins and Rico. They're all I got. I'm thinking about CD and about trading CD or Jen for a good running back. Are you trading them for James Cook? Like this guy who's asking if he should trade James Cook? So take a look at that. Would I be panicking on Judkins and Rico? Not really. Let's see. Unspoken Legends, waiver wire shout. Baltimore Ravens. They have a lot of good matchups ahead. It's a good defense. It's a good defense. Do it. Go for it. Snow, sounds good. Going to shop for Bijan. Thinking of bundling him with Parker Diggs since I have a lot of wide receiver depth. Yeah, check it out. Raymond Martinez, it was JSN, not Jen. I mean, same concept. You should just always be seeing what your players are worth to your league mates. Chris, is Chuba droppable? He is likely droppable. With anyone, Chris, with any player, check in with your other league managers. Is someone starting Nick Chubb? Is someone starting like a really bad running back? Offer them Chuba. You might not get anyone. It's not a great player example, but often when someone says, is someone droppable? The answer is like, sort of, but check and see if you can get something in trade first. Reese Kennedy, would I trade Henderson for Judkins? I could. I would probably pair Henderson with a running back and get a larger up tier, but I could. I might want Judkins more. MS trade away Ramondre Stevenson and Judkins for Jacobs. Sure. Keaton sending in roses. What's up, Keaton? I'm up by 19 with Dobbs to play. Opponent has Barkley and Goddard. Gonna be tight? I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be pretty tight. Could be really tight. You could win. Gutters 223 drop Keenan or Shaheed for Pierce or Washington. I don't want to overreact to one game of the Seahawks with Shaheed. They were up 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. Like any need to throw at all kind of just went away. And the best plan for the Seahawks was run as much as possible and just end the game. So I'm not going to jump to conclusions of what Shaheed is there. You could probably still move Shaheed. Would I drop Keenan Allen to pick up Pierce or Washington? Maybe Pierce. They're all kind of going to end up in the same tier. My goal would really just be trading Keenan and Shaheed 2 for 1 to get a better option. Let me turn down the sound. What did I just hear? Fernando with heart, me's, and roses. Thank you, Fernando. Where are we? Did we covered MS? Didn't we? Got offered. Oh no, we didn't. Got offered Lamar. Oh, MS we did. It was Alex that we didn't. Got offered Lamar for Caleb Williams and Rashad White. Would I accept? Like, would I send Caleb Williams and Rashad White to get Lamar? Yeah, probably. I think I would. Raymond Martinez, Dart, and Lamar rest of season. Thinking about CD and either quarterback for a running back 1. Would I trade CD and Lamar for a running back? That would be way too much. That would be way too much. I would rather you should be able to get a great running back. You should be able to get Bijan for just CeeDee. If you can't, that's okay. That person doesn't have to trade you, but that's the even rate there. I'm not adding more. Would I move Dart? And I mean, same thing with Dart. If you're moving Jackson Dart and CeeDee Lamb, they don't have to offer it, but I'm not offering more than that for any one player. Jesus Freak says, I completely missed when you were talking about dropping Manungai. It's okay. I can rewind later. We are also, these videos, there's the VOD on Twitch. They do get now saved on YouTube if you wanted to go back and see anything. I don't expect most people would want to, but if you wanted to watch this later in the day or have the ability to rewind, that is available live on the YouTube watch stream or for anyone else later. But about dropping Manungai, I think he still has tradable value for people. I don't know that he's someone I'm going to start, but he definitely has tradable value. Raymond Martinez, Lamar, and CD for Taylor, that's way too much. That's way too much. I would not send that much for Jonathan Taylor. Fresh cut note, would you buy low on Justin Jefferson? Just got told by my league mate that he's open to trading him. Yeah. I think he's going to play the Bears this week, who are allowing like the most points to wide receivers. Bears are number 2 in terms of average amount of points that they let wide receivers score. They did add a corner off waivers in NFL waivers, CJ Gardner-Johnson, but that's the state that they were in. They are starting their third corner that they start regularly is like practice squad level. Nashawn Wright is not very good. They are injured at multiple levels on the defense. You can throw on Chicago and move the ball on Chicago. So if I have Justin Jefferson, that's his next matchup, and I would be holding him until at least after that. MS, why do the Seahawks hate Ken Walker so much? I don't know. I was saying similar stuff about Henderson and Ramondre. We might think Ken Walker's better. I did, but they don't, and they know more than me. And they're, what are they, 8-2, doing it the way they're doing it? So we just have to track. Fantasy football is not as much about knowing the skill of players, especially in a situation like this. It's about being able to say, this is what the team is doing, and I'm not going to listen to what everyone else thinks. Or pivot, because I liked Ken Walker way more, and I was way wrong. So now I have to pivot. Story time. I have London, Olave, Abuka, and Sutton. I also have Cook, Jacobs, and Gibbs. What running back should I move with a wide receiver to get a better wide receiver? Any of those ones, any combo there. Someone in your league might love Olave. I really like Olave. People are starting to catch up with me. So would I move Cook and Olave? Sure. Jacobs and Olave. Yeah. London and Olave. Yeah. Any of them. I don't know that you should get paralyzed by yourself, like paralyze yourself on this one. Just start sending out offers. The 2-for-1 is generally just always good, as long as the values line up. Unspoken Legends, it's crazy how inflated my league's points are. JT scored 73. Yeah, your league, I don't understand. Is it 8 team with like a lot of points for the prime players, which makes it hard to build or to listen to general trade advice. Nike Rise, what can I get for DK? I don't know. You could probably still get ETN, DeAndre Swift, Breece Hall, Kimani Vidal, 1-for-1. Honey Badger, happy 50th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. We'll pivot a bit. I would make my daughter, who's now 6, listen to that for the past couple Novembers. And on Saturday night, she was like, let's watch YouTube videos about the boat. And we watched like a 40-minute, it would have just been a TV show of people trying to solve what happened to the Edmund Fitzgerald on YouTube. And she was very into it. And then when it got done, she was like, wait a minute, Dad, there's another video on YouTube we could watch about this boat. So she might be an old man, an old Midwestern man. Logan, Marks, and Odunze for Chase Brown and Godwin? Sure. I mean, Logan, I think you were the one who had asked about a similar Odunze for Chase Brown. Like, I don't know that we should have to give that much on, or give much of anything on top of Odunze for Chase Brown. It's like Marks for Godwin, like, fine. Fine. Hutch Gaming, Burrow practice window open. I picked him up and stashed him in my Superflex. I don't know how he got dropped in a Superflex, but that is very good. Nike Rise Stream Elements says, Nike Rise just subscribed for 2 months in a row. Thank you, Nike Rise, for the second Twitch Prime sub. I don't have that page pulled up. Thank you very much. Resubscribe with Prime. They've been subscribed for 2 months. They have the 2-month badge now. I think we're going to get closer to 3-month badges popping up. Chris Lopez, do you like Cook or Javonte more rest of season? I like James Cook more. I think he's a better talent. And in that situation where it's close enough with the production, I'll go with the guy who's a better talent. Jurg M3 says, first off, sweet channel and nice work. Hey, thank you. Jurg, you're here all the time. I don't know that any of this is first off. Swift and Ken Walker for Dowdle and PPR? Sure. I would be fine sending that. I don't know how much I believe in Dowdle as a player, but the production has been there, and the coaches are now coming around to it. So, yeah. It's Johnny. How do you feel about Vidal against Jacksonville this week? I have not broken out ranks. I would have him as a startable asset. There's not that many teams on bye. Is it just 2? Here's week 11. Only 2 weeks on bye, Indianapolis and New Orleans. So we're really only missing Jonathan Taylor at running back. So Kamani Vidal's probably going to be top 24. But I've started doing some of the legwork for building my ranks. They will be out there. Fernando, it says the link has expired in Discord. That's odd. I don't know if it'll work when I do it. Opening Discord app launch, continue to Discord. That one worked for me. Someone let me know if that one's having an issue. Every once in a while, Fernando, I hear someone say, and Discord did just open on my machine and looks fine. Someone says that there's an issue with the link, and then someone comes back and says it's working fine. So it is set to never expire. Soy Jeffrey Rojas, Tez Johnson, and Devin Singletary for Zay Flowers. Yeah, I would go Zay Flowers there. Jurg M3, hard to find a bell cow. Yeah. I mean, I would make that trade if I were you. Yeah, we can work on it, Fernando. I don't know what's going on. Raymond Martinez on YouTube, CD for Achan. Then he says, do my leave? What does that mean? Do my leave? Would I do CD for Achan? I think I would stick with CeeDee Lamb. I'd give a slight edge. I would want a little bit more than just Achan. Cashcraft, who would be a few wide receivers you would target in exchange for Bucky Irving? Pittman seems reasonable. Marv seems reasonable. A.J. Brown. Wash, is Bijan a massive buy low right now? Thinking of sending some offers. I did a video today. I mean, I've had people go back and forth, or I jump back and forth each week. What's the best way to say what I'm thinking? It's a different person each week. People were worried about Gibbs. What do I do with Gibbs? And then he has 2 touchdowns and he's fine. And if Gibbs doesn't have a great week next week, people will be right back. Should I panic on Gibbs? No, he's fine. That's what happens. Bijan is fine. So would I buy in on Bijan? Yeah. Send some offers? Yeah. Mr. Luckaboo, Garrett Wilson and cross game merit for Chase Brown and Shakir. Is it worth sending that trade out? If you're really worried about Garrett Wilson, I think it's okay. I don't know when he's coming back. I mean, we'll get imaging. I think they said they were doing an MRI today. But if it's not a clear timeline injury, like ACL, he's out for the season, the Jets are just going to keep saying he has a chance to play, and that doesn't mean that he does. They don't have to tell you if he really has a chance to play. Big Joser, is starting Tez Johnson valid? Yeah. Don't know Garrett Wilson's injury significance? I think it's valid. The second receiver there, third receiving option after Otten, depending on how teams play them. Oswaldo on YouTube. Might be a first-timer. Welcome in, Oswaldo. Someone sent me a trade. I give Pickens, and I get Franklin, Monungai, Myers, Charbonnet. Feels like a lot of nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Oswaldo, I did a video on TikTok today. I sometimes post, didn't have time to post them onto YouTube today, but basically that same concept. As we're getting later in the season, I don't want a whole bunch of nothing. I want like a bench that's barren, one real backup, and then a couple handcuff pieces that take over if someone gets injured. So they're doing what I would want to do, trade all of my depth to get a better starting lineup. We're almost through all the buys. I don't want player depth for buys anymore. We'll get a couple injury depth pieces, but you need less depth as we get later in the season. So Franklin is okay, but I wouldn't move Pickens to add four. I wouldn't move Pickens for 4 pieces. Like, then you have to drop a bunch of players as well. Raymond Martinez, bro, my league wants JSN for Bijan or Achane. They overinflate the value of players. I'm not trading a wide receiver 1 rest of season for RB4. They want JSN for Bijan or Achane. Oh, if you wanted to get Bijan or Achane, you would have to give JSN. I mean, they're similarly valued. I wouldn't do it for Achane, but would I move JSN for Bijan? It's closer than you think. Saying wide receiver 1 versus wide receiver 4 is a little bit much, but I would probably still rather have JSN. Ray's Temp just traded May, Javonte Kincaid for Jonathan Taylor and Bowers, and you have Lamar. Like, great. I think I gave that example today. I don't want 2 quarterbacks. So get up to 1 and get Jonathan Taylor. You upgraded at running back and you got upgraded at tight end and you sent away something that doesn't need to start for you anymore. Perfect. Exo Syri, I definitely don't know how to say that. Is it worth trading for Bucky Irving? We have no idea. I don't know what you're sending. To get him, and I don't know when he's back. Let's see if there was a blurb. Someone said that the coach had said something about him playing this week. Not expected to play in week 11 coming up. Yikes. So it's a longer lasting shoulder injury. I don't know what's going on, why he never went on 4-week IR. Or IR with eligible to return. Is it worth trading for him? It's hard to tell. And I especially don't know what you would be sending. Let's see, Raymond says, I got nobody on my bench. I got Dart, Lamar, Judkins, Rico, JSN, CD, Waddle. I mean, you're just listing the whole team. There's definitely players on your bench. Waddle, Slayton, Tyler Warren. Looks like Warren's a starter. AP, Joe Burrow, 21-day opened. Yes. J-Ray Stream, do you like Javonte Williams or Judkins more rest of season? Probably Javonte Williams. T Fireball, P-Sign, pick up Parker, Washington, or Henderson. If Henderson's available, I would pick up Henderson over Washington. Luis Salazar with the follow. I feel like we've seen a lot of Luis following. Travis, where do you have Achane rest of season? Top 5? Probably. Let's take a look. I'm going to just pull up redraft rankings. This would be the community's rankings for redraft based on real trades that have happened. I have Achane. They have Taylor, McCaffrey, Bijan, Gibbs, Achane. Yeah, that seems fine to me. Saquon after that, Josh Jacobs, James Cook after that. I think Achane's top 5. I would have had him close to that going into the season. So I'm all right with that. Raymond Martinez, are we trading Lamar or Darrow rest of season? Do you mean Dart rest of season? Raymond, oh, okay. He does respond and say, are we trading Lamar or Dart? Here's something I find myself saying a lot, Raymond. Like, trades are 2 ways. And if you're in a 10-person league or a 12-person league, that would mean that there's 9 or 11 people that have values for quarterbacks. So if no one in your league values Dart highly, then you're trading Lamar. If nobody in your league values Lamar correctly, then you're trying to trade Dart. You're trying to trade both of them, and you go and get whichever one you can get. Let's see, Sire, XO Sire. It's also pronounced like fire with an S, with a silent XO. Ajna. That's definitely not. AJNA, Politanu. That's a name I don't recognize how to say. What side do you prefer, Nico Collins and Achane or Rashee Rice and Judkins? I think I would give the slight edge to Collins and Achane. Oswaldo, I have plenty of wide receiver depth, running back room a bit down. What do you think of this counter? Like, I go slow on it. I haven't read the trade yet, but I go slow on trusting a lot of people's gauge of their own team's depth. Let me see. I have plenty of wide receiver depth, running back room a bit down. Like, that might be fine. Is basically the short version of what I'm saying is, like, do you need more running backs? I don't know. Would I move Dart and Pickens for Kyren? That's okay. You have Goff, who's going to start rest of season. You might be able to find someone better than Goff. I don't know how deep your league is, but yeah, that doesn't seem crazy. Let's see. Nunez, I need 14 points. Do I start Watson or Smith, or is it over? They're both have a chance of getting you 14 points. I think Smith catches deep, has a track record of catching deep balls slightly more than Christian Watson. So I would go Smith. Unspoken Legends, my league has a lot of bonus points if you break plays, also for 100 plus yards. Yeah. Leads for really tough matchups when players like JSN and Jonathan Taylor are constantly over 100 and score so often, like literal juggernauts of the league. I'm in a couple leagues that have small bonuses. I don't particularly like it. If Ramondre comes back from Jesus Freak, I'll probably start him in the flex a lot. Judkins maybe 2, because Patriots have really good running back matchups. Thoughts? It might change. It could definitely change with Henderson taking a bigger role. So we don't know. Luis Salazar dropped Butte to pick up Worthy. I might rather have Worthy. Marco, is Bucky gonna come back? I think so. I just don't know when. David, does Jacobs put up 28 this week? Unlikely. We got Eleazar. I have Smith in one league and Goddard in another. Not bad. I don't think that's bad. Hunter, Rushforth, Pickens, and Henderson. Okay, George Pickens and Henderson for Tet and Rico. Yes or no? Would I rather have George Pickens and Henderson or Tet and Rico? Maybe Pickens and Henderson, or do a different deal. If I have Pickens and Henderson, am I excited to move them for Tet and Rico? I don't know. If I have either side of this deal, I'm not sure that I'm doing it. Would be my thought. And I might try to do something else with other people. Reese, should we, R-H-Y-S, is that pronounced like Reese? Reese? Unlikely to be Riss. Should we be worried about Gadsden? I try not to worry about stuff we can't change. But should we be tracking it? Yeah, and we should know something today. Except for an MRI on Monday. So we'll know something today. Or early tomorrow. Cade, top 5 trade targets heading into the playoffs soon. Right this week? I guess Justin Jefferson I'm hearing a lot of concern about. I'm hearing concern about Bijan. There's always constant concern about what's his name? Kyren. So those would be the ones that jump to mind right now. Where are we? Fernando Escamilla? Looks like we also missed Rami. CD4. Or CD and Worthy for Drake London and Jalen Warren and Travis Hunter. I guess. I don't. Probably not. I think I would just stay with CeeDee Lamb. Let's see. Sire, I typed the above package for the trade. It would be Shakir, Judkins, and Aaron Jones. Is it worth trading for Bucky Irving with... Would I send Shakir, Judkins, and Aaron Jones for Bucky Irving? That might be a bit much. I might try to send those players for other people. Rami, Istanbul, Zay, Judkins, and Tracy. Or that's not Istanbul. Istanbuli. I'm sorry for mispronouncing it. And I think it's Rami. Zay, Judkins, and Tracy for Kyren and AJ Brown. Yeah, give me Kyren and AJ Brown there. Elijah, what about Chase Brown and Ladd for Bijan? I could do that and take Bijan. Laka, would you start Caleb over Geno, Nix, Rodgers next week? Tough matchup? I don't know. Against the Vikings? Possibly. I haven't done rankings yet, though. Laka. started them. We'll have them probably tomorrow because I'm a little bit ahead this week. Nuts trade Judkins for Nico. If you have Gibbs, Warren, and Genty, sure, I would swap it for Nico if that makes your starting lineup better. Yeah. Raymond, I'm in a league where this guy is Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey, but that's like all he has. His best wide receiver is Zay Flowers. You can definitely survive that way. I missed your answer earlier. Would you trade Nico or CeeDee and Derrick Henry for McCaffrey? Would I trade Nico or CeeDee with Derrick Henry to get McCaffrey? No, that would be too much for me. Tommy Boy, Gibbs and Warren for Christian McCaffrey. Would I trade Gibbs and Warren for Christian McCaffrey? 1, I don't know which Warren. 2, it wouldn't make a difference in this trade. No, I would just stay with Gibbs and whichever Warren I had. Storytime, trade away Cook, Sutton, Kittle for Justin Jefferson and Ferguson. I could. I feel like it's kind of expensive for Justin Jefferson. It feels a little expensive. It's not. It wouldn't excite me. Juju says Bucky out again. That's what it's looking like. As far as we know, and this does not mean it's true, Todd Bowles has said he doesn't expect Irving to play week 11. Todd Bowles has been more, I don't know that truthful is even the right word, a little more open with just sharing reality compared to someone like Aaron Glenn, who will just sit until he has to, or Kyle Shanahan until they have to rule a player out, will just say, we don't know. Or they're on track to play, even if they're not. Gene with the follow on TikTok. Gadsden drop. Should I pick him up? I think we'll know definitively before you can pick him up if he should be picked up. You can't pick him up until tomorrow night, probably, in most leagues. And we don't know what his injury is. He's having an MRI today, so we'll find out. Kyle Kelly with the follow on TikTok. Thank you. Rasheed for Kyron and Rome. I could. I don't know. Like, if I had Kyron and Rome, would I send that to get Rashee Rice? I don't know. That seems like an expensive up tier. I would need to have a lot of depth to do that. If I had Rashee Rice, would I move them for Kyron and Rome? Possibly. Like, it's very close. Postman, trade Achane for Judkins, Dowdle, and Sutton. Your only other running backs are Dobbins and Monty. I mean, Dobbins and Monty are fine. If you have Achane and Dobbins, that's a fine 1-2. Achane and Monty is a fine 1-2 each week. I wouldn't split Achane to get to however many Judkins, Dowdle. If you're sending Achane and you end up with Judkins, Dowdle, Dobbins, and Monty, don't you just have a bunch of guys rotting on your bench each week? I don't want that. Broke B Ducker. I need my goat to come back. Let's get it. I don't know who it is, but I want them to come back for you. Vin, trade JSN for Taylor straight up. Sure. If that's the position swap you need, that's not crazy. Exosire, how do we get a team evaluation? You can do that in our fantasy football Discord. I'll just go into spiel mode. We haven't gone through this in a while. In our fantasy football Discord, we have a channel. It's called the Roster Help and Screenshots channel. Here's the different categories. Like for all of fantasy, we have ads and drops, which would apply to redraft and dynasty, or start sit questions that would apply to any type of league you're in. In redraft fantasy, we have trade questions, which would have different values than a dynasty league. And then we have the Roster Help and Screenshots channel where you can post images of your team. And then we open up a chat thread. Here's one. This was a follow-up for someone, but here's a back and forth. Myself and the other person just back and forth about their team. That is available to people who are subs on Twitch. If you are not watching on Twitch, we also have a server shop where you can do a subscription to get access to a very similar channel that is just under the server subscriber team reviews. It's the same exact concept. It's just a limitation of Discord that I can't have them joined as the same channel. There is not a method to do that through TikTok subs that I know of. The link is just not reliable. and I don't want to do a bunch of IT work for that. And then through YouTube, we're just not big enough on YouTube yet to have access to channel memberships. So we just need watch hour time on YouTube to get access to that. But that is how you do it. The best way to do that for you guys would just be Twitch Prime. It doesn't cost you any extra money if you already have Amazon Prime, and it does give money to me. So it takes nothing from you, it just takes money that would have gone to Amazon and they give it to me, which I like. Anytime money goes to me instead of Amazon, I prefer that. Just in life, it's probably one of my guiding principles. David doesn't on YouTube. Henderson and Tet for Waddle? I would rather not do that. I would stick with Henderson and Tet. Waddle has a great playoff schedule. I've seen, I would still rather have Tet and Henderson. I think you could get a better one player there. Did we cover Postman? Yeah, we did. The trade Achane for Judkins. I wouldn't want to do that. Diagnuts we covered. Would Nico make a big difference there? I have CD, Wilson, BTJ, and Tet at wide receiver. Would Nico make a big difference? Possibly over Tet. DP15 trade Saquon and London. Would I trade Saquon Barkley and Drake London for Jamar and Judkins? Burrow should be back soon too. I mean, Jamar, I don't know that Jamar's going to play. He's getting like 15 targets a week from Joe Burrow or Joe Flacco. I don't know that I even need what's his name back? Burrow. Would I trade Saquon and London for Jamar and Judkins? I could. I don't know which side I like, so I would say it seems even, and I wouldn't put up a stink if that trade went down in my league. I would say, okay, that's fine. Would I move Saquon and London? I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Camden trade Henry and Garrett Wilson since he might be injured for Rico and Chris Olave. Potentially more. I get Olave and Rico plus. Sure. If you just want to panic and if you want to move and you feel like you're getting out before we get news and you're worried that the news might be bad, okay. I don't do a ton of bets like that where you're just saying like, I'm going to bet that the injury's bad and get out. But I wouldn't think you were crazy. That's just a personal thing I don't do a ton of. J-Ray stream Garrett Wilson or Odunze rest of season. Wilson much better schedule, but Odunze just in a better offense and not sure. Garrett Wilson hurt his knee on Sunday. I think that's the biggest thing we just need to worry about. I don't care how good the offense is if his knee is hurt. David doesn't. Who could I get for Tet and Henderson? Let's see. Bryce Long says, we'll cover it, David. Bryce Long says, send Sutton for Dart. I have Flacco. Sure. I mean, Dart might miss this week with a concussion, but you would have Flacco for this week. Yeah, if you're worried about Burrow coming back, that would make sense. And then David doesn't says, who could I get for Tet and Henderson? David, we have a video on that on YouTube where you're watching. So if you go into the main page, we have this video, My Ultimate Trade Tips. I don't think we'll hit double digits on the question today, but almost every day when we are live, David, we hit at least 10 people asking that question. I have 2 players. What one player could I get for them, or what could I get in a trade for those 2 players? And how we do that is listed on the YouTube video because we just get asked it all the time, and the process is the same. So you could check that out. We got Pareko, Joe Burr coming back soon. I think so. We'll see. Sean Doherty opinion on Gadsden's injury and his usage moving forward? No idea. We have to wait until... Maybe I need to refresh this. It says Gadsden is scheduled to undergo an MRI on his left knee. So we'll find out. I don't really have any sort of opinion until we see what that says. Whitecaps, I'm not panicking at all, but I think it would help my team because I have Javonte and Chase Brown, so I have good RBs. Would Bijan for Puka be good? Yeah. And I wouldn't say that's a panic move at all. That's fine value. Bijan for Puka sounds fine. Would I trade away Jamar Chase and Dak for London and Odunze if I already have Lamar? No, I don't know that we're getting enough. I don't think I would. Unless I was then taking London and Odunze and trading them for Puka and a better player in my lineup. There's some spots where I might SMP, but I don't really want to have to send away Jamar Chase to do that. Can't you send Dak and a different wide receiver to get better options? It's possible that there's follow-ups available there, but at just a glance, I don't think so. Hanzo Nagano says, what is the server link for Discord? It's on the screen. So here on the browser, my mouse should be moving around. If you just look below the browser, it says Fantasy Team Reviews in Discord, and then right below that is the link that you can put into a browser to get invites. Someone today has said that it didn't work. Someone today has said that it did not work, but that's the same link that's been working the entire time, and people have been joining. David Doesn't says, what's the video called again? It's right there. And this is how the channel would look if you just went to the page. So it would show the live stream right now, recent videos, and then it's under my ultimate trade tip, steal this trade tip. You can also, if you are in the Discord, get to it through, we have a section called Fantasy Resources Trade Tips. And it's the same video linked to there. Ashley, you Rams bottom. Thank you for joining on YouTube. The question. Okay, dynasty question from Ashley. McCaffrey and a 26-second for Barkley and Pickens. That seems fine. That seems fine. I think Barkley, does he have a year on McCaffrey? Will this even say it does. It says 28, and I think McCaffrey's 29. Let's just go to this and get a more granular age. So we're getting a tiny bit younger. I think Saquon's best year is probably behind him. He'll be 29 next year. Christian McCaffrey will be 30. So you get 1 year younger. I don't know that it really matters. But then trading the second and getting George Pickens, turning a second into Pickens is probably an okay move. And going from McCaffrey to Barkley, I don't know how their values get swapped in the offseason or how their values change in the offseason. Barely Bat made a trade last night and want to know your thoughts. Okay. Stafford and Addison for Olave and Krusky Merritt. And you already have Mayfield. So you're just really trading Stafford and Addison for Olave. And then Jacory's fine. I think that's fine. Moving on from Addison, who I think has been okay, but getting an up tier to Olave, I would put him in a tier ahead. I think you're all right. Says, hope your weekend was great. It was great. Hope you had a great weekend as well. David Doesn't say went and checked the video. Ashley Ramsbottom says correct. DP15, should I trade Saquon in London for Jamar and Judkins? It's okay. Would I trade Saquon and London to get Jamar and Judkins? I think what I had said was I didn't really want to move Jamar for Saquon in London with Judkins. So I think I would be more willing to move the Saquon in London side. Camden says, I think Rico is arguably better than Henry now since his carries in the red zone isn't great now. What about you? If I had to pick, I would pick Henry going forward. Not by a ton. Mucho De Niro, I have my rent on the Eagles today. Do you think they got it? I hope so. I hope they got it. Barely Bat says, I got ads. I think you're still in ads. Sham God on YouTube. Trade Troy Franklin, DK Metcalf, and Swift for Pickens and Judkins. Yeah, that seems fine. That seems okay. I typically like a 3-for-2 trade, Sham God. So I think I would take the Pickens and Judkins side there. Denton, between Jettas, Pickens, and Ibuka paired with Aaron Jones, can I get Saquon? Yes, you have enough to get Saquon, Denton. Will that person sell them? I don't know. Like Aaron Jones and Ibuka for Saquon? Probably not. Pickens and Ibuka, or Pickens and Jones for Saquon? Unlikely. If you're just trying to do 1-for-1, does Pickens and Jones get you Saquon? It's possible, but not likely. Same thing with Ibuka and Jones. Maybe the guy loves Ibuka. Maybe that one does. We got Yasirski, Bucky, and Dak for Bijan. That's another one. You can send it, and that might be enough. I don't know that they'll do it. All right, Barely Bat, your trade. Stafford and Addison for Olave. I think the Olave side's fine. If you're moving your quarterback and turning him into Olave, that does make it easier to make a follow-up trade for you. So I think we're good. What else did I miss? Mucho De Niro, coach says Bucky's probably going to miss week 11. Yeah. Bruck Live, Rashad White and Goddard for Love and Shakir. I have Bucky need a quarterback and have Schultz to replace Goddard. Uh-oh, why do you need a quarterback? Is Jordan Love... I mean, there's probably someone free. I don't really want to pay for Jordan Love. White and Goddard for Love and Shakir isn't terrible. You have Bucky and need a quarterback. And you have Schultz to replace Goddard. Ooh, that seems okay. That seems all right. Exosire was offered Monungai and A.J. Brown for Lamar and DK. Is Stafford on the bench with Jason and Puka? Is it worth it? I don't know that Monungai and A.J. Brown is enough for me there. No, I don't think that's right. I don't think I want to do that. Sean Doherty, do I think Henderson continues on the streak? You feel it's just because Stevenson was out? I mean, I definitely think it was because Stevenson was out. But he's a good enough player. I just don't know that they're going to use him as much as people want. Milan, panic on DK and Tet. Not really. It's kind of just what they are. Geary, I don't know if you already answered it, but should I drop Cooper Kupp and pick up Ridley? I'd stay with Cooper Kupp. I don't know that Ridley's that much better. Christian Taylor, I need a running back badly. I have Ken Walker and could trade Metcalf or Dobbs with him. Is there any running back updates I could trade for? Christian Taylor, we have that as a video here. If you have Dobbs and Ken Walker or other players on your team you think you could trade, here is how I build 2-for-1 trades. It's the same concept for 3-for-2 trades. This is how I do it. It's on YouTube. I'll leave that up for a couple minutes. Check that one out. We just get that question a lot of times a day. Raymond had a work call. Does Judkins, CeeDee for Javonte Williams and Jefferson a good trade? Fine. Is it a good trade? Like, no, it's like the same thing. Judkins, CeeDee for Javonte Williams, Jefferson. It's even, I guess. DP15, quarterback situation, not great, and Judkins' schedule is great. I wouldn't do that. Oh, you're just responding to someone. Big Boss Gaming. What's up, Big Boss? Did I mess up trading Gibbs and Charbonnet for Genty and Javonte before this week? Yep. That one, yes. Sorry. I think you're a first timer and I don't want to jump on you. And typically I'll say things like, I just wouldn't have done that one. Trading Gibbs and Charbonnet for Genty and Javonte. I did a video today that will go up on YouTube as a short. It's on TikTok. People have just been back and forth with panicked on Gibbs, panicked on Bijan now. And then, they just kind of alternate. Gibbs will have a 2-touchdown game like he did on Sunday, and Bijan doesn't. And now people are panicked on Bijan. They're both very good. I would think of them both the same going forward and both top 5 running backs. And I think right now, everyone watching this, send an offer for Bijan. Most of you won't get Bijan, but send an offer for Bijan right now. He's still very good. There were weeks where you should have sent an offer on Gibbs because maybe you could have sent Genty and Javonte for Gibbs and Charbonnet. Dat Tommy Boy, Tet McMillan and Shakir for Saquon. I would take Saquon. Milan, should I trade Tet and DK for Marv? You could. You might be able to get more, like a better player. CeeDee for Achane from Raymond. They're about the same. If it's just a position swap, fine. I think most people prefer CeeDee a little bit, or would give you more than just Achane for CeeDee. We got Colmeg on TikTok. Trade Ibuka and Flowers for Amon-Ra and Harvey. Yeah, I would take Amon-Ra and Harvey there. Trading Ibuka and Flowers to get a better receiver. The context that you added is you already have CeeDee and Rice. I mean, they would all be through their buys this week. If you do that trade, you end up with CeeDee, Rice, and Amon-Ra as your 2 wide receivers and a flex. That would be great. That would be great. And then you move Harvey with whichever running back you have for an even better one. That would be great. Jonathan, what wide receiver could I get for Pittman? Like, why would you? I think that would be my main answer. I think I'm typically just staying with Pittman. Camden, last question before I go. Would I trade Zay Flowers for Chase Brown? Yeah, I would take Chase Brown. Yep, I would. Milan, is J-Mo trustable? Yes. Yes, but what do we mean? Is he trustable? Do I think this pattern continues? 16, 23, will he do that again? No. Is he trustable that the full pattern will continue? 18, 6, 5, 2, 18. Yeah. There's going to be 5s and 2s and 0s coming. That is what I would trust. But his stat line is trustable. We're through 10 weeks. Big highs, low lows. That's what he is. I would expect there to be more lows. Sean Doherty, do you think Jameson gets a boost after another good week and with Dan Campbell seemingly wanting him to get him more involved? Does he? I don't know that he does. Is this stat line like that different than last year? Maybe. Down the stretch, he had a long streak. But there's some zeros in there as well. A 1. I think that's just kind of what he is. I'm not jumping up and down to add him. If he was on waivers, I guess I would grab him. Ghost M2, trade McBride for JSN? Yeah, I would rather have JSN. Got a question from Michael Giuliano. We have the same question asked a lot of times. We won't cover that one. Fleezus, is Addison playable with the passing volume issue in Minnesota? Bless you. Is he playable? Yeah. But not a lot. Like this is not the actual production is not amazing. With the volume, like 11 targets, 3 catches on 11 targets. I would like the catches to be higher, but 11 targets is 11 targets. So a little bit playable, but I'm not excited. He said 12, 4, 4, 11. I think he's still keepable. Annabelle Dela Cruz, trade away Tyler Warren and Jalen Hurts for Josh Allen and James Cook. Yeah. That seems fine to me. It doesn't seem insane. If you have another tight end, you move Warren and Hurts for Josh Allen and James Cook. That seems okay. I mean, the other side seems okay too. Trading Josh Allen to down tier to Jalen Hurts, moving James Cook if you have other running backs, and getting Tyler Warren. Maybe you just lost a tight end. It seems like an even enough trade. Neither side is screaming as better to me. Hanzo on YouTube says hi. Hello, Hanzo. I don't understand. Maybe I haven't watched enough stuff on YouTube. Maybe is it a button people click that makes it say hi? Or is that just more of a YouTube live streaming thing where people just say hi? Hunter Whitley with a follow on TikTok. Thank you, Hunter. Vithya. Is it Vithya Kim? Jefferson for Gibbs? Sure. I probably would take Gibbs. Looks like you have a couple questions like what should I do with Justin Jefferson? If I could get Gibbs, I would. But they were all kind of the same tier in preseason, and I haven't seen enough change. Jefferson has been down a little bit. So I would be fine if I could swap him for Gibbs. I'm Jonah, Joe Burrow or Bo Nix rest of season. I mean, I don't know when Joe Burrow comes back, but if he's playing, I like him more than Bo. Hanzo, need your help. I trade Ibuka, Pickens, ETN, Aaron Jones. Oh, geez. So we're trading a lot. We're trading a lot here, Hanzo. Let's just build it out on one of these. Once we get to 4 on each side, I'm either going to pass on the question or, depending on the day, type it in somewhere just to have it all written out in front of me. Ibuka, Pickens, ETN, and Aaron Jones. They're all solid. For Rice, Henry, BTJ. I think I know where I'm leaning. Yeah, I was leaning this side. So Ibuka, Pickens, ETN, Aaron Jones. This has Ibuka at wide receiver 9. That feels fine. Pickens at wide receiver 17 might be a little low. I don't know if it's low enough. Travis Etienne at running back 19 rest of season. That's definitely low. I think on the season he's better than that. He's 16 and they have him at 19. There's a couple guys who haven't had buys yet. So he would end up in the top 15 and this was saying 19. So I think we're going a little bit low on the values on a lot of these guys. But I would want the best pieces are on the other side. Derrick Henry, Rashee Rice. And then if you could move Brian Thomas and Keenan Allen for a better player to just make that 3, I would be fine with that. I'd be fine with that one, Hanzo. Daniel Lara, what are your thoughts on Henderson? A hold or a sell high? What's he getting? What offers are you getting, Daniel? What offers are you getting? Disney Charlie. Would you do Genty, Tet, and Dak? Or would you do Genty, Tet, and Dak, and I get Bijan and Franklin? And you already have Herbert. So would I send Genty, Tet, and Dak to get Bijan and Franklin? And then just roll with Herbert? Yeah. I think I'm probably fine with that. Chris Romano with the follow. Paydirt. I traded Javonta and a 28 second for J-Mo and a 27 first round pick. Worked out well as J-Mo had a good week. I mean, I'd be happy to get... Yeah. Would I trade a 28 second for Jameson Williams? Yes. And would I take a 27 first for Javonte Williams? Yeah, I probably would. I would. So I'm fine with that. We covered Disney. Let's see. Hanzo, insane. Thanks. Sure. Hopefully it helps. Christian Taylor, I need a running back. I could trade Ken Walker and either Metcalf or Dobbs. Who should I trade for? Christian Taylor, we covered that one. Check the video. We get that type of question a lot. I have 2 players. Who should I target? Here's how I build targets. That one's on YouTube. Sean Doherty, thoughts on getting Kelsey and Judkins for McBride? I'm generally going to stay with McBride. Santi, do you think Caleb is a starter rest of season? For fantasy? Yeah. Is he an amazing starter? No. I don't think so. Where did he finish up? I mean, he had a long touchdown run that gives him a good day yesterday. Against tougher matchups, he's quarterback 8. I would expect him to finish 10 to 12 on the year. David says, would you trade Jamar Chase and Trevion Henderson for Achane and Amon-Ra? Yes, I would. Like, yeah, no problems with that. Would I trade Jamar Chase for Amon-Ra? Like, fine. And then would I trade Trevion Henderson for Achane? Absolutely. Yes. And that's enough to make up for any difference between Jamar Chase and Amon-Ra. And sometimes that's the type of trade you should be offering out to people. It's not likely to get accepted. Saying, no, DP, I'll cover right to you. I see a DP, I'll get to you. Sometimes that's the thing to be offering. If you have Jamar Chase, offer something like this, where you're taking Trevion Henderson, who's fine, but you're barely going down from Jamar Chase at all. If you're going from Chase to Amon-Ra, and then you're jumping from Henderson to Achane, like some people think Amon-Ra is that much worse than Jamar Chase, and he's just not. So sometimes that's the move you have to make in a 2-for-2. DP15 trades CeeDee and ETN for Achane and Olave. That one I would stay with CeeDee. Like trading from CeeDee to Achane, it's a little bit of a dip, and then going from ETN to Olave is kind of even. I think I would just stay with CeeDee Lamb there. Would I do Judkins and Garrett Wilson? But I wouldn't hate it if you did it. I don't know. Like, I'll just double back on this one. For DP, this trade's okay. It's not the same as the one David is recommending or David is getting offered, but it's not a hard no. It's just, or it's more of like I can't pick which side I like more. They're both fine. Brian Windland, would I trade Puka and Kamara for Saquon and Pittman? I don't know that I'm getting enough to move Puka in that deal. Like if I have Puka, is the trade okay? It's fine. But if I have Puka Nacua, I'm probably looking to do something else there if I'm moving them at all, Brian. Like, I don't know why this doesn't clearly make things better if you're moving Puka. Austin Burke, trade Jacobs for Bijan, and you have Jacobs? Yeah, I would rather have Bijan. And that one, I don't do a ton of 1-for-1 same position trades. Who was this? This was Austin. But if that was offered to me, I would just see you, Jacobs. It's been cool. Bijan's just that much better. If you can get Bijan after a 1-down week, I would be fine with that. Hack Disu, is Rachaad White done since they are splitting the backfield? Oh, with Sean Tucker? What's the matchup for next week? Based on the matchup for next week, I could end up going right back to Rachaad White. I don't know that Sean Tucker is for sure splitting things. They were down in that game. I don't know that the stats are as reliable. I mean, he's never been that good, Rachaad White. So he would go from, he'll still be a flex option. I don't think I ever got him much higher than, where did I have him this week? I had him at 21 in my running back rankings for this week. So does he dip way further than that? No. Pater, I have Jonathan Taylor, and I'm probably not going to make the playoffs. Would you trade Jonathan Taylor 26 and 27 second-round picks for Henderson, Rome, and a first? I could. I don't know all the exact settings for your league, Pater. But the general answer of if I have Jonathan Taylor and I'm not making the playoffs, would I get out? I would. He's 27 next year. I don't know how many more years he has. And that's just a thing I do. I've seen a lot of running backs have their last good year at 27 and then kind of fade away. So if we're at the end of his career, like Saquon's older, CMC's older, Derrick Henry's older, but there's plenty of guys that were great alongside of them, like Dalvin Cook, who's now gone, same age. Ezekiel Elliott, gone, similar age. Le'Veon Bell, gone. I think he's older than them, but they all had their last good year at 27 and then fell off a cliff. So I don't know that I want to. It's been working. If you've had Saquon and Derrick Henry, in general, I still will try to just get out and leave someone else holding the bag, because it's not like you get nothing. You trade them for good value, and then you have something else that's as good but different. Renee RJ, I'm up 30. Guy I'm going against only has AJ left. How am I looking? I think you're looking good. I think you're looking really good. Let's just take a look. Is it possible you lose? Sure. He put up 28 in week 7. Last year, he never cleared 30. 2023, he cleared 30, 38, 33. So it's most likely that you win, I think. Ryan Williams, should I unload Derrick Henry? I feel like I haven't answered this one in a while. Yes, but not because it's Derrick Henry or anything about his situation. Should you sell your players? Yes, all the time, always. Always be shopping to see what your players are worth, Ryan. That is the best way to win your fantasy league, is always know what you can get for your players. Ply Hockey with the Prime sub. Thank you, Ply Hockey, for subscribing on Twitch with a Prime sub. It helps me, and it doesn't cost you guys anything more than money you've already spent to Amazon. It just takes money that you would have sent to Jeff Bezos, Jeff Bezos, and sent it to me instead. I think everybody prefers that. I hope so. Alex Kimak, if I can't flip Vidal, but I've got Saquon along with a stacked receiver core, can I win? Like Saquon, Vidal, and receivers? Yeah, you can win. Try to find someone else, possibly based on when Hampton comes back. I would expect Vidal to lose most of his value. Hack Disu, Dalvin Cook's fall off was so quiet because Jettis was doing so good, I forgot about him. He just disappeared and then went to other teams and was not really used. Ezekiel Elliott had a down year and people thought, oh, he's coming back. Like, nope, he was just done. He then went on to he had a down year for the Cowboys, played again with the Cowboys and was not very good, and then went to the Patriots and wasn't very good, and then went back to the Cowboys and was bad. Let me tweak this camera, get a little bit more light in here. It seems like I'm sitting in a very dark room, but I'm not. All right, let's see how auto looks. That looks all right. That looks feasible. Nicholas Efren, can A.J. Brown drop 15 points this week? Yeah. Yeah. I'm up 2 with A.J. Brown, and he has Devontae. Do I win? I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Vin, would you consider trading London for Jettas in a package? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what the package is, but I'm open to any trade all the time. Yeah. DP15. What if... Okay, looks like I'm just falling further behind than I thought up here. All right, we'll get to you, DP. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Trade Judkins and Sutton for Devontae Adams. I'm on that. Dat Tommy boy, Sam Darnold or Flacco for week 15? I don't know yet. I will know later in the week. I haven't done rankings yet for week 11 yet, Tommy boy. And I might have just said 15. I meant week 11. Santi, will you trade Gibbs for Bijan and BTJ for Wandale? Like, would I trade Gibbs for Bijan? Sure. They're still the same to me. I don't know that I would just make that swap. Especially today, I would want something else on top of Bijan because I know some people are panicking, or I would just stick with my guy. They're both fine. J Ray Stream, would you do Judkins and Garrett Wilson for any of McCaffrey, Bijan, Jacobs, Cook? Would I send Judkins and Garrett Wilson for McCaffrey or Bijan? Yeah. Yeah. All right, DP15. What if it was London, Warren, and ETN for Achane and Jefferson? Then I would probably go Achane and Jefferson. Like, would I trade London and ETN for Achane? I could. They're pretty close. Wait, yeah. I would take Achane and Jefferson. Santi, what did you trade? We covered that one. J-Ray Stream might have missed it. Probably not. I'm doing a bad job today. Would I do Judkins and Garrett Wilson? Yeah, I had just gotten back to that one. B. Hogan. If Gadsden misses time, look to Mark Andrews, Otten, or Loveland to fill the spot. I don't know that anybody knows. Otten seems okay. What I'm looking at with Otten, what I saw today was double-digit targets, which is really the only thing that... I see 12, and that feels pretty okay. In the past couple weeks, since all of these receivers have gotten hurt for the Buccaneers, he's been usable. So Otten's okay. Loveland might have a higher ceiling, but I think Otten's safe. I think he gives you a pretty good floor, but it's tight end, so who knows? Mark Andrews can definitely have some down weeks. He catches a lot of touchdowns just like he did last year. I mean, not a lot. Maybe what I mean to say is if Mark Andrews is helping you, it's because he scored a touchdown, 2 touchdowns against Miami, 1 against Minnesota, 3 receptions on 5 targets. You're chasing touchdowns, and Otten seems to have a safer floor with more targets. Whitecaps, what running back could I get for Javonte and Hampton or Chase Brown and Hampton? Whitecaps, we have that as a video. We point people to this YouTube video because I didn't think we were going to hit double digits on this question today, but we've gotten it a lot. If you have 2 players and you just want to know how to build targets, this is how I do it. It might not work today because values will change. The site that I recommend here is based on real trades that have happened, and there are only... people don't really trade on Mondays because they don't go through right away. But as you get to Wednesday, Thursday, this works a little bit more. And I'm wearing the same jacket in the same room in that video. Different shoes on the shelves. Maybe I need to swap these out. Louis V6, do I trade Bucky for Brees and Shakir? Currently have Woody Marks and Judkins. You could. If you need production now, if you're 9-1, no, I would just stick with Bucky and hope that he's back by the playoffs. But if you need to start scrapping together wins to have a chance at getting the playoffs, Bucky for Brees and Shakir could do it for me. I'm looking at the rest of the stuff. Like currently I have Woody Marks and Judkins. Wide receivers are Franklin, Jettis, and Diggs. Like you could, and then you need to start doing combos after that. Postman, trade Jacobs and Judkins for Achane. That seems a bit too much. Camulocks, what can I get out of trading Jefferson? Same thing. Here's how you determine what you can get in a trade based on the market. I mean, the best way to know what you could get for Jefferson is ask your league mates what they're willing to give up. But if you don't want to do that, you can check this video here. It's how I build trade combos. B. Hogan, Mark Andrews on the bench, drop for Otten. You could. You could probably sell Mark Andrews as well to someone who just lost Kincaid or Kraft. We had someone in here earlier who had lost Kraft, traded for Kincaid, and then lost Kincaid. Gadsden might be missing time. Louis V6, I'm 3-6. Then yeah, if you need to start stacking wins, you would go for that. The other thing I would look for, Louis, if I'm 3-6, and I don't remember the full context of your team. I know I just said it, but I have immediately forgotten already. If I am 3-6, I might decide like I'm not holding any depth. I need to start getting wins now. So I want to trade for the best possible lineup right now, even if it means that I'll have a bye next week and just go week by week and figure it out. Make trades to manage it that way. Because I don't care if I come in last place or 7th place. If I don't make the playoffs, it's all the same. So get more risky. Try to get wins right now. Rhino shots. Should I sell high on Dart and Henderson? Can you? I'm not paying high on Henderson. Check in your league, man. You should always be selling everyone you have. Always be shopping to see what you can get for your players. Franklin's main man. Should I trade Bijan for Amon-Ra? I already have Genty, Dowdle, and Henry. Like, sure. I think that value swap is fine. The J Boog, would you be worried at all about Bijan? I heard you ran a lot of routes. I did a video today on TikTok. It's kind of just about how people have been back and forth or jumping. The worry has just been jumping between different players. To me, it's all kind of the same. People have been asking, should I be worried about Gibbs? And you might be thinking, Gibbs just scored 2 touchdowns. That's stupid. People ask it all the time. Am I worried about Bijan? No. Am I worried about Gibbs? No. They're both top 3 at the position. They're fine. It would be, Jonathan Taylor, then Gibbs, Bijan, maybe CMC in there, so top 4. They're fine. If you can get in, get in. I would. Dylan House, should I trade Henry for Brees and Keenan Allen? I don't know why. I don't know that you need to split. Well, yeah, I don't know that you need to split Henry for that. Like, how much does Keenan Allen help your starting lineup? I don't know that he does. Big boy 3223. Should I trade Bijan for Amon-Ra? Sure. One of the questions I got the most during draft season, that if anything was bothering me about doing this, was just asking, I have picked 1 of 3. Who do I take, Gibbs or Lamb? It doesn't matter. Would I trade Bijan for Amon-Ra? Sure. They're like same value. If you just need to swap around the way you have your team's positions, I think it's just people getting stuck up on like, I can't trade my first round pick. Like, you can, and that's enough value to move them. MS, sell Waddle before the bye? Yeah, sure. Trade away Waddle for Nico Collins to avoid the bye? No. Would I trade Waddle for Nico Collins to avoid the bye? No. Would I trade Waddle for Nico Collins because Nico Collins is just better? Like, yes. Yeah. I think that's just a win in general. Dylan House, my starting flex is JMO. Do you think Keenan Allen is a big enough upgrade? Not really in that way. I would rather trade Keenan Allen and something else on the team to get a better starting flex. You probably have someone on your bench that I would be the one trying to send 2 and get 1 rather than send 1 and get 2. Duke, would I trade Amon-Ra for Drake May and Bucky? I don't think so. I mean, if you have no quarterback, possibly. But not usually. Eric P trades for Olave. I have Olave. Eric, we've got the video for how I build trades when I have players that I want to send away. So that's here on YouTube. Here's how I build trades if I'm looking to move someone off my team. Ricky, trade McBride for Nico or Justin Jefferson. I have Goddard. Like, would I trade McBride for Justin Jefferson? I could, yeah. TKL Griffin, how do you get in the Discord? They're asking on TikTok. If you're on TikTok and you want to get in, it's on the screen. And I know it's behind the chat. So we've got the picture of me. Below that, the browser. And then below that, it says Fantasy Team Reviews in Discord. And then below that is the link to Discord. So if you just punch that into your browser, most of the time that works. Every once in a while, someone says that it's expired. I checked it again today. It seems to be working. I haven't had anyone confirm or second that it showed up as expired. And people keep joining. So I think it works. tinyurl.com/boomdiscord. That is how you join it. Leo on TikTok just did a trade. T. Higgins and Bijan for Genty and Jamar. Sure. There's nothing. I don't think that's crazy. Bijan for Jamar sounds good. I would be happy with both. Higgins for Genty. I could be fine with Genty. Leonardo Padilla. Ooh, I don't know how to say the last part. Davalos? That's probably not right. Hey, man, would you trade Lamar for Bijan? I need a running back, and I have Herbert on the bench. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. If you could get Bijan for just Lamar, absolutely. Douglas on YouTube. Thoughts on me giving up Ladd, Gibbs, and Garrett Wilson for Jamar, Chase Vidal, and ETN? I mean, would I send Gibbs for Jamar Chase? Sure. Would I send Ladd for ETN? Not really. Would I send Garrett Wilson for ETN? I feel like you're going a little low. Unless you just want out on Garrett Wilson and we're selling him as a very injured asset. Even in that case, I might try to get a little bit more. This is kind of just saying, would I be willing to trade from Ladd to ETN in order to get Vidal out of Garrett Wilson? And I don't know. I'm not sure that I would. You could check for something else. This just feels like trying to get value out of Garrett Wilson before he's gone, if he is. That might also not be how you're thinking about it. Wilson undergoing further evaluation on his knee injury. Ant on TikTok. First time Rose gifter. Thank you, Ant. Oh, Jay Sosa on TikTok. Bo Nix or Jordan Love for the Danny Dimes buy. I probably Bo Nix. Bo Nix plays the Chiefs. Jordan Love, I'm not sure who the Packers play. I don't have the schedule. I don't have the ranks done for week 11. I've only just started putting things together for them. Those usually are in pencil on Tuesday and then done by Wednesday. So we'll have more of that tomorrow, Jay. I don't see a question from Ant. Royce Tooth up 35.4. He has Hurts and Devonta. What do you think? It'll be close. It'll be close. It'll be close. Well, we got the YouTube sub from Louis V6. Thank you, Louis V6. And from Douglas. Thank you, Douglas. Let's see. Postman. I offered Judkins and Sutton. We offered Judkins and Sutton for Javonte. Got turned down, and he traded Javonte for Bill and Keenan right after. That's the whole game, Postman. It's not. We don't need to veto something or get upset. The whole game. So this is one I know some people might watch this and think, I just want to hear my question get answered and then move on. This is probably one of the more important things. You offered Judkins and Sutton for Javonte. They did not take it. They did not like Judkins and they didn't like Sutton. Plenty of people have not liked Sutton. And then they traded Javonte for Bill and Keenan, which is not a trade I would do. But that's the whole game. Everyone in your league would probably do a stupid trade if it got offered to them based on the way they value players. I would have traded for Ken Walker way after anyone else. And I would have been wrong. He's not been very good. I would have stuck to my guns. You gotta, and people come in and ask, should I move Derrick Henry? Is it time to sell high on so-and-so? You should be checking in on the prices of everyone constantly, because there are going to be people who make dumb trades like this. And if you aren't offering up a trade and trying to gauge their values, they're not going to do it unless you offer it to them a lot of the time, or they know that you're willing to trade. So be the one driving trade conversations and checking in and saying, hey, are you open to moving so-and-so? Are you interested in so-and-so? And people will come back at you with stupid offers. This one just didn't go your way. Someone else got the stupid offer. But you got to go to everyone in your league and essentially you're just prompting them to be dumb. Do you like this guy? Are you willing to move that guy? And then dumb offers sometimes just come your way. That's not my number one strategy, prompt everyone to be stupid, but sometimes you'll just get a dumb offer. You'll offer something fair and they'll say, I don't really like that, but here's a counter. And then you wonder if they misclicked or something because it's so bad. But it only happened because you sent a fair trade first. This one just didn't go your way, and it stinks. Tech Filmer, thoughts on offering Parker Washington for Burrow? Yep. Can't hurt you. Parker Washington for Burrow, even if Burrow doesn't play. Fine. Douglas, I have Jonathan Taylor and JSN as my running backs and wide receiver. I'm about to be 9-1, and Garrett scares me a little. If you're 9-1, like, sure. Oh, for the other trade, like, I might just look at something else then if you're 9-1. Camden, I love the streams and the videos. Looking forward to the weekly rankings. Thank you for answering the questions. Hey, Camden, thank you for being here. You've been here for months. Thank you, Camden. Aunt Vinny on YouTube. Is that the same Ant as on TikTok? A different Ant? I'm looking for the question from Ant. I don't see one. So we'll say, Ant, thanks again for the roses, and we'll jump to a different Ant on YouTube. Should I trade Josh Jacobs for Ibuka and Swift? My other running backs are Hampton and Judkins. No. Well, the values, the 1 for 2 isn't bad. Trading Josh Jacobs, getting Ibuka and Swift, that's an okay value. Am I doing that because my other running backs are something? Like, I would be fine just having the guys you have. You have Josh Jacobs, Judkins, and Hampton. Like, you only need 2. Now that we're through the bye weeks for these guys, I'm pretty sure Josh Jacobs has had his bye. Judkins has had his bye. Like, you're good. You have your 2, and you only need 2. And then hopefully Hampton comes back. You have Higgins, Londons, and Pickens. Like, the only way I would do this trade, Anthony, of trading Josh Jacobs for Ibuka and Swift is if I was then taking Ibuka and Swift and making 2-for-1 trades that got me that left me better than I started. I don't want to add players a lot of the time now. I want to consolidate as many players into my starting lineup. Jay Boog, for the playoffs, you feel it'd be sense to keep Cam Dicker through his bye or just stream a kicker? I don't know a ton about kickers, Jay Boog. I'm typically just streaming a kicker. I'm usually just streaming a kicker. I don't know how many people are going to make it a priority waiver ad to pick up Cam Dicker if you drop them. But if someone else chimes in the video about how much they love Cam Dicker, then maybe. Xavier sending stuff. As I was saying that, scrolling up to read Xavier's message, got offered Genty for Devonta Smith. Thoughts? That seems fine. That seems fine. If you need another running back and Devonta Smith has been a flex option for you and that's going to help up. Yeah, there's plenty of rosters where, yep, that's fine. I'd make that swap right away. Anthony, only reason I looked at 2-for-1 deals is because it's a 2 flex league and my second flex spot tight end has been weak with Bowers and Gadsden. I mean, yeah, losing Gadsden is going to hurt you. Bowers is generally pretty okay. Griff on YouTube, listing out your 10-0 team. I will tell you something, Griff. My eyes have started to be trained. If I see a lot of commas, a lot of names in commas, that I should skip it and scan to the end to see what the question is. And this one, there's not even a question. It's just 10-0. Is that good? Griff, I will pivot. If you are just looking to have your team looked at and reviewed, we offer that in our roster help and screenshots channel. I'll add, if you're 10-0, how much help do you need? I feel like I'm selling to someone who doesn't need anything, but that is just something that we offer. We don't really do it on the live stream of just reading out your team and saying, is it good? If you're 10-0, it's probably good. If you wanted someone to look at it, we do that for people who are Twitch subs or there's a Discord server subscription for people who don't watch through Twitch like you on YouTube. I'm just not big enough on YouTube to do the channel memberships. That would become the equivalent of a Twitch sub. Anyone on TikTok as well, we offer that through the server shop or through Twitch subs, which can also just be done with Twitch Prime. Doesn't cost anything extra. Thomas Bush, is Devin Singletary a good flex spot for the rest of the season if Garrett Wilson stays bad? I think what we've gotten from him is about what you should expect. Was he single digits yesterday? And actually, I didn't think about this. 33% snap share yesterday, low. 8 touches, 3 catches, not amazing. Expect changes. If they got rid of their head coach, things will change. So yeah. Camden, I was going to ask, I joined the Discord, but it won't let me type or picks in the screenshots channel. Yes, Camden. So here's, okay, let me reread the message. Camden says, I was going to ask, I joined the Discord, but it won't let me type or send pics in the screenshots and pictures tab to send my team for help. Yes. Click on the member role info. It goes through everything that I had just said. So The server roles will be assigned to members who are one of the following. You need a specific server role to post in that channel. That's for people who are subscribed on Twitch. It says Superfan on TikTok. No one has done Superfans on TikTok. They're more expensive. I don't recommend it. Channel members on YouTube is not launched yet, so it's broken down then each one. Here's how to do it with a Twitch subscription. I would chill out on TikTok. Maybe I'll update that today. I don't know that we have Superfans on TikTok. YouTube membership's not available, and there's a Discord server shop. That is how you do it. Steph's online. If I sub here, you can post your team in the Discord. Yes, as long as you, and there's no extra thing. This is just built into Discord and Twitch. Here is how it looks on desktop. There's a little gear here that says user settings. That would be on your phone somewhere. I don't know exactly where it would be, but then you want connections. User settings, connections. You can also just Google this, how to connect Twitch and Discord. It will show up here. It would show up there. And that is how that would go through. Something just happened. Oh, Steph with the sub. Thank you very much. Yeah, if that will auto detect if you have the connection set up, and your name will show up red and blue, which I'll show. For anyone looking like here in game day, Unspoken Legends is a sub. Their name will glow red and blue, and it'll cycle, and that'll happen automatically. So if your name is red and blue, you're able to post there. Spliz joining the Discord. Camden joining. Thomas Bush traded. Let's get back to questions. It's a lot of selling. Thank you for anyone who stuck with. Thomas Bush traded T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, and Jordan Mason. Traded T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, and Jordan Mason for CeeDee. Is that good? Yes. Yeah. Any consolidation you can do right now, Thomas Bush, as long as you can fill out the thing I want right now, Thomas Bush, is the best starting lineup. So if you were going to be deciding, do I start T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, or Jordan Mason in the flex, and you could just sell all of them and get one player, we're through the buys. CeeDee Lamb buy just happened. Like, I don't need these guys in. I don't need depth as much anymore. So give me the best starting lineup I can get. DAC, I have McBride and Ferguson at tight end, but I'm weak at wide receiver. Who should I try to trade for a better wide receiver? What we say in that situation, DAC, is typically we'll point you to the video, and we will. Here's how we build trade targets of who to target. But your question is, who do I try to trade for a better wide receiver? Send offers on both. Trades are a two-way thing. You need someone to accept it. Someone might like Ferguson. Someone might not believe in Trey McBride. Maybe there's someone in your league who says Jacoby Brissett stinks, and this offense that we're getting from them right now is a mirage. It's not likely, but someone might say that and not give you an offer on Trey McBride. So I don't limit myself before starting to send offers. I would send offers out for both McBride and Ferguson. If you're worried about them getting accepted, like who has a better rest of season, I would not care at all. I don't care who has a better rest of season schedule. I worry more about getting a deal accepted and then evaluate, like get some deals that people say, yeah, I would accept that if you sent it, and then go from there. Spliz says, should I trade Bijan, J.K. Dobbins, and DK Metcalf? Gramps resubscribed with Prub. Thank you, Gramps. Gramps. There's an H in there. Let me jump back to the question I was reading. Was it Spliz? It was Spliz. I'm a couple behind. And we're getting close to 2. We wrap up at 2. And then we're back at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Spliz asks, should I trade Bijan, Dobbins, and Metcalf for Rice, Wilson, Chase Brown, and Shaheed? I don't think so. I think in this situation, I have not crunched numbers on it. But once we get into 3 for 4, I don't know that I really want to move for an extra piece here. Would I move Bijan? I'm not excited to. J.K. Dobbins and DK Metcalf for Rashee Rice. Like, Rice is the best piece there. Garrett Wilson hurt his knee again. Let's definitely wait and see what's wrong with his knee before this week. And there's a good chance the Jets won't be straightforward about it. Garrett Wilson, like, hurt his knee. It was a lot of people were saying that's a multi-week injury, and the Jets were saying he's playing on Sunday, and then he didn't. Or they said, we don't know if he's playing, and they knew. So do I want to grab Garrett Wilson right now coming off of another injury? Not really. I think if I have Bijan, Dobbins, and Metcalf, I'm checking out other options. I've not crunched any numbers on that. Maybe it's wildly heavily overvaluing the Rice side. But my first gut reaction, I'd look for something else. Dino Jimenez start Woody Marks or Jalen Warren for week 11? It's probably Jalen Warren for me. But I don't know yet. I'll prep my ranks and have them close to done for tomorrow. on the live stream at 11. Steph's online. That's actually so nice. It auto detects on Discord. Hey, I didn't make it. That's just something they do. Cammy locks Eddie Pinheiro or Cam Little for kicker. I have no idea. For next week, what I'm typically looking at is just the over-under each week. So here's week 11. ESPN has already updated with over-unders for next week, so maybe a kicker in Tampa versus Buffalo. But I don't really play with kickers, and I'm generally just streaming them. If I'm the commish of a league, and we'll have a league next year, it won't have a kicker. Bronson, need Josh Jacobs to drop me 25. I'm hoping for you. My thoughts and prayers are with you and Josh Jacobs. Thomas Bush, is J.K. Dobbins someone to be worried about as an RB2? Nope, he's a perfect RB2. That's what an RB2 is. What I've noticed with a lot of people asking questions, Thomas Bush, is everybody wants their RB2 to be an RB1. And they can't all be. So as long as you build your roster knowing one of your weakest spots is your RB2 and he's just running back, I don't know, let's look at what Dobbins has been. Has he still been an RB2? Looking at his production on the year, running back 18, that would slot him in perfectly as an RB2. Is he worried? No. He's just exactly what I want him to be. Do I wish he was better? Yeah. But he's not bad. Real Robinette, I have Hurts as QB1 and Stafford on my bench. Is it smart to trade Hurts for a solid flex and start Stafford going into the playoffs? Yes. Is it better to move Hurts just for one player? Like, I would rather maximize your starting lineup. So if you need to trade Hurts and then trade him with something else, great. Everything Geo. What kind of iced coffee did you have on your video earlier? It's right here and it's melted now. It was pumpkin spice something, Chobani. We're at 159. We can show. Pumpkin spice Chobani. It was this. It was that, Geo. Postman, trade Dowdle and Judkins for Cook. You might be able to get more. It's kind of what I'm thinking. People are really high on Dowdle. Joven, who do you like more, Worthy or Pearsall for playoffs? Oh, this requested page does not exist. Who do I like more? Well, we're wrapping stuff. I don't know. Because I don't know if Pearsall's ever playing. So I guess Worthy. I feel like Pearsall's got a favorable schedule, but his health is concerning. Yes, if he was healthy, it would be Pearsall with a slight edge, but I just don't know if he's ever going. Steph's online posted the roster in Discord. We cover all of them within 24 hours. It looks like I've only got the one, so we'll probably end up getting that one today. In general, sometimes though it carries over to the next morning, but yeah, we'll post it. I'll jump in there after this. I'll probably go eat and do something because we're at 2:01. Joven says, have a great rest of your day. I hope every one of you guys has a great rest of your day. We end this with gratitude always. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for asking questions. This only exists if you ask questions, so thank you for being here. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock Central Time. Take care, guys. Take care, guys. Take care. Here's how we end a TikTok. End it. Here's how we end on other spots.